This episode brought to you by Long Bottom Leaf. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Wet, dry, stomped on by a giant tree. Who gives a shit?
Hey everybody, we're watching Lord of the Rings Return of the King, and you are listening to Miscast Commentary.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Findley and Todd Murray.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Findlay.
Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we are back with you again for another fantastic movie.
Oh yeah,
We're
for real fantastic.
We are finishing this trilogy, and we are finishing it strong, and we are finishing it long.
So if you're going to finish, man, strong, you better finish long, baby.
So anybody who is not aware right off the bat, please know that we are watching the extended cut. This is going to be broken up into 2 episodes. We will tell you if you're not watching like off the Blu-ray or something like that and you're watching a digital copy that's complete, we will tell you where it's going to end and where we can rejoin it in the future. But if you are watching the Blu-ray, you'll know exactly where it ends because it will end.
That's where it ends.
Yeah, it just ends.
Okay.
And then you
So
won't
2
be,
discs.
Then you won't be surprised.
Is
Yeah.
it 2 discs on
Yeah.
Blu-ray?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
really,
neat.
I was
Huh.
really disappointed, but then I realized that it was.
Why?
I think it's because they have 4 commentary tracks.
Oh, you
They-
want it all in one.
Yeah,
I would mind switching.
Mm.
I think it adds to the journey. You got to get up and do something, bro.
I don't want to do
You
something.
know,
I want to be like Tom Bombadil, just walking around his forest and going, "This is what I do. You do what you do, and let's see who comes out happier in the end."
You want to be Tom Bombadil, so you're like nowhere to be seen,
Tom
Essentially.
Bombadillo. Well, he's going to be in the Amazon one. I'm
which
willing
I
to bet.
want to see bad.
I'm really looking forward to it. I hope, beyond hopes, I don't think it's going to happen, but I really hope that they hire Ian McKellen to play Gandalf. He wants to do it.
Oh, he does.
He's flat out said it, and then they said he might be, and they asked, and they're like, he might be a little old at this point to play
Right.
him, and he's like, he's 1,200 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I can play 1,200.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, that's a good. I like that.
Like, and he was too old.
Like
Like, he wasn't doing backflips or anything in the first one. You get a stuntman to do anything else.
yeah,
It's
just
like,
have him for the
Yeah.
scenes and get everybody to do it. Guy pulls up on a horse, have some fucking other guy do it.
That's what I'm
Fuck
saying.
it. Like, who cares?
I know. It's
yeah,
just
like in
what-
this day and age, like what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like,
I think my only fear of getting him
you'll
would be
die
that
halfway through.
No,
it.
no, not that. It would be the fear of then people being disappointed that you didn't get everybody. It's like, well, you got him.
Right,
Why didn't you
right.
get Elijah? Why didn't you get?
Right.
Because guess what? They're not all fucking doing
Well, they
it.
probably have like somebody in mind, and then they hear this and like, shit. Now we feel like maybe we have to put him in because like
Yeah, absolutely. But
I was gonna put my brother in there, and now like, oh fuck. Holy
I wanted Rick Springfield to play Frodo.
That'd be amazing.
You wish that I was Samwise's girl.
I do actually. Oh,
That'd be
to
great.
being Frodo.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
All right, guys. Only one way to
Agreed.
get this thing started because it's going to end very late for us is to press play.
Now,
It's done.
I think I was a little off. So
It doesn't matter.
just before I said now, you should have pressed it.
You'll figure it the
yeah.
fuck out,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly.
This is
This
not brain
is-
surgery.
You know, Peter Mayhew died last week.
So sad.
I
still.
know.
As of
Yes.
this recording, this
Yes.
doesn't come out till July.
No, that's
so-
right. That's right. So, fuck,
you?
yeah, I'm not supposed to do that. But whatever. But it was still last week to when they.
Mhm.
Well, no, that's not true.
Life is
It's
last
still-
week.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But in those, I feel like I was thinking today. Now was like Star Wars is yours,
yeah.
but you know, just go with me here for a minute. I was like, Star Wars is your baby.
Okay. Oh, he just wants to hear that music, and it's so good. I'm gonna do an
I got a story
ASMR.
too. I got a story too.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like Star Wars is like Lord of the Rings tonight. Lord of the Rings is mine. But I was like, no, like 'cause you love Lord of the Rings just as much as I do.
I love everything though, so it's hard.
And I just there he is.
Like
What
Pi
a
is also
beautiful
mine.
man. Here he is.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see this, that you get to actually see Andy Serkis. They took that off specifically because the hook they picked was way too big for the worm, obviously, and there was no way they could
What
hook
an
the worm.
awesome scene.
Uh,
I fucking where I was going was I fucking love these movies.
Yeah.
Essentially more than anything.
yeah. They are, and I did say these are better made films than the Star Wars
I
movies.
know, no, that's not where I'm going. I'm
No,
not
I
saying
know.
that. I'm just saying, like these are my babies. These I fucking like. Oh,
They're the ones that give you the feels. And, and the feels
yeah.
of it.
Like these are the ones, man. Especially the extended version. They just add more gravatas.
Yes. So a lot coming out of this scene right off the bat. Andy Serkis. Now there are conflicting stories about this. Andy Serkis said he directed this scene.
Right.
I've read other things that said Philippa Boyens directed this scene.
Who's Philippa Boyens?
She's one of the other co-writers with Fran. It was Fran Walsh, Philippa Boyens, and Peter Jackson. This was another big twist here, is when you see this in the prologue, this shot, and you assume that it's Gollum
Or Frodo or something.
or it was either Gollum. No, it was because the way they say it.
You're right. No, you're right.
So
Yep.
you think it's going to be Gollum, and it's not, which was kind of an interesting little twist. But the other thing is, this was supposed to be in the second movie. This whole scene. Because there is that scene where Faramir has like his sword on the chain, like he's got it on the chain.
That's Sean
thing.
Bean.
No,
His
David
brother.
Wenham is his brother, yeah.
Okay.
And he's got the thing there, and he's basically saying like, I'm gonna bring the ring back to Gondor type thing. And then there's that moment where he goes like, no. You see like a really close shot
Right.
of him, and it was supposed to go back, or no, this was supposed to flash back at another point when he said, you were a hobbit once. And then he's like, weren't you? And then he
and then
says
it was going to
Smeagol,
switch back
and then he goes,
to this scene.
and he goes, I'm going to be very proud of this. I hope I don't blow it. He goes, what's your call? And then he does that little,
Right? Do it again.
what's it called?
That's better.
Thank
Second one's better.
Yeah, I whispered it too much, so I couldn't get the high.
Look how young he looks.
He does, but I mean, he'll always that's makeup. He'll always look. Like
I know, right?
that. That's actually what he looks like most. This
It's
is
funny too because I said that these movies are my babies. I don't know
Yeah.
the names of anybody.
no.
Like I don't know the name.
That's the problem. There's too many. There's too
Exactly.
many
I don't
people.
fucking know their names. I know who they are when I see them.
You're not the same kind of nerd as me. I can. My brain has decided to make pockets for this information, and it's not what other people do.
Right.
Like I probably have really weird like divots in my brain that look like moon craters, and it's just filled with the names of
Like
fucking
they would
nerds.
do like a, like in Stargate or something. Where like we're searching through his brain right now, and they're like, oh, there's like a whole, we found like a chamber down. Oh, it's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, there's another a double chamber here on Star Wars. You know what I mean?
son of
Like,
a
yeah.
bitch. Yeah, that's
And this one over here is Disney princesses' names.
yeah.
And this one over here is what he would have named them himself if he was their dad.
That is my spank
He
bank.
would-
Yeah, if he was their dad. I was doing that to my daughter today. We were going through like Lego Disney stuff, and there was like, and I'm like, and there's like, there's like, Anna and Elsa, and I'm like, and there's Rick. She's like, that's Ariel, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm pretty sure it's Rick.
Is this
they
like
had to
Cain and
digitally
Abel?
touch that up a little bit. They had to digitally touch that up because he actually blinks. The dead guy there blinks, so they had to like freeze his eyes.
Can they just
so
do it again?
Well, no, because I don't think anybody noticed.
Oh, so in the
Like
end, they're like,
it's-
oh, he just blinked.
Yeah, because I mean, the guy who's directing the scene isn't looking at it.
This
right
is
now.
his brother.
Yeah, no, best friend
Oh, his best friend.
or
Okay,
cousin.
so,
I
right,
think I
so-
think he's his cousin or something.
right.
like
So
that,
it's a
but
family
still.
member.
Yeah, it's still important. That's why he liked the shot so much that he decided to just have the eyes frozen. He was like that. That was just the best shot
Right.
of that one. And then
Oh,
and then
poor
right there
Gollum.
where he like they digitally thinned him down there where you see him.
I like the hair all in front of his face.
Yeah.
Like in the wind.
They actually, you can find it if you look it up online. They have a version of Frodo that looks like this because that was the part that went with the David Wenham part. So this was the Smeagol, what did you call it, scene, but then the other side was
Yeah, we saw. Look at him.
yeah, but the other side was Frodo basically going through the exact same thing. This is actually a tough thing too because you're going through the evolution of a character that you've already established so strongly in the previous movie. But the first movie, it was so off. Like they didn't even fix it. Like they didn't even like George Lucas it and fix it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What like the first? If you watch the first movie, you only see like Gollum in shadows and stuff like that.
He comes
But he
over
looks,
the rocks.
but he looks nothing like
No,
him. His neck's
that's right.
longer, is like
Yeah, and
but-
he's like, "Oh, we're being followed." He's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "We're
Yeah.
not the only ones on this."
Yeah, but
fucking
I'm
quest
surprised-
or whatever he says.
But I was surprised because like they had completed the second movie before they released this movie.
Right.
And they could, for the 2 or 3 shots he's in the first movie, they could have easily went back. So you see where they switch the eyes there when he blinks. I thought that was brilliant.
Isn't it? It looked good actually.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like they could have easily gone back to the first one before they released the extended cut and fixed those to make him look like the other Gollum all the way through. And they just didn't.
Good.
It was a
Okay,
whatever.
who cares? Fuck. Spend the fucking money. Whatever. We get it. We saw him for a couple seconds.
Yeah, we
It's
get
not
it.
like we saw him like a big old close up. We just saw him in some shadowy shots, right? Like,
Yeah.
there he is. Shit. She's chafed.
So these mountain scenes here, this was their fallback set for when there was weather and stuff like that.
Right.
And I guess as they were shooting, there was a massive flood going on, so like most of their shooting locations were out of use, so they they had to go back to here. They started shooting this while they were still in the middle of shooting stuff for the first movie. So
Right.
like they hadn't gone, and they actually spoke, because I like later on you have way more, and they had mountainside set, like it was basically, this is all a tennis court in Queenstown or like a racquetball court or whatever.
Right.
And so they would so they had to like go, in the first movie they've shot a few scenes, and then they're like, oh, now you have to go shoot some of the most emotional, like you're decimated
Right.
emotionally like stuff. And like they literally went to Peter Jackson, the two of them, and they're like, we're not there yet.
Right.
They're like, I can't they're like, I can't do that yet. And he's just like, sure you can. Like that was basically his argument, right?
To see everything looks good. I hope that, like Lucas, though, I really hope,
Yeah.
because I fucking love these movies,
Yeah.
that I hope that they go back. I'm not saying add
Mhm.
new things, but just touch it up.
Yeah.
Because even now I'm looking at him and I'm like, ooh, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, like,
I don't. Like you'll probably get like a 10th anniversary, or not 10th anniversary because we're already past it, but you'll probably get some kind of anniversary version
Right.
of this. I don't know that. I don't know
is,
that they'll ever touch it again.
is the new Lord of the Rings, what did you say? It's on Amazon?
It's gonna be on Amazon Prime. Yeah,
Fuck.
well, I have Amazon
Maybe I can.
Prime.
Oh,
You'll be
okay,
fine.
good. Okay, great, great. I'm not gonna get Amazon Prime too. Fuck that.
Too many
Oh,
things.
my- Look at these fuckers.
Yeah.
What a fucking journey, man. What a
Yeah.
movie.
So, in the box office world that we're in now, I'm not going to go into all the numbers just yet, but this was actually the second ever movie to top $1 billion. in
Oh,
the box
it did.
office. Yes.
Okay, I forgot that actually. Now with all this Marvel biz, I
Yeah.
forgot about the old guards.
Yeah, now like 5 of them in a row did it.
Yeah.
So it's and then every Star Wars and all that stuff. I still just love the idea that so much work had to be done on the feet.
Okay, so wait a second. Okay, so the last one,
Yes.
the Two Towers,
Mm-hmm.
he is taking them to Mordor.
Yes.
They've branched off.
Mhm.
They were. I'm thinking of
Well,
the
let's
first one.
here,
What happened at the end of the second one?
Well, I'll take you through kind of the whole thing. So leaving the first movie, everybody gets separated.
And it was in the water.
Yeah,
Where Sam was cut his foot.
Yeah, Sam and Frodo, or Frodo was going to go off on his own and finish this journey. Sam went with him. Merry and Pippin were taken. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli decide to chase after and rescue Merry and Pippin.
That's right.
So that's where they're left. Merry and Pippin then get
With the trees.
get caught up with the trees.
Yep.
And then they meet up with Gandalf.
The White.
And yes, now the White.
Now the White.
Yes,
Supremacist
the
leader
White is right.
of the KKK.
And other.
Oh,
other
and
things.
this is right after the Rumble
Yes.
with Rock and Stone.
Yes.
You piece of fucking asshole shit.
I know.
Oh, here they are.
I love this so much.
Look at these fuckers, eh?
Beautiful boys.
The spoils of war, eh?
You could still, like,
cocksuckers.
They could
Look at them.
easily go back and like these guys still look identical. Like
Oh, they
none of
haven't aged a day.
the only person who looks different is Sean Astin, but Sean Astin had to like physically change himself so much for the role anyways because he had to put on so much weight for the role. Now he just weighs that though, so
Right.
it would be.
He
like,
was
fine.
just like, I should have been here the whole time. I'm home.
Elijah Wood looks. Yeah,
Once he hit that way, he's like, I'm home, baby.
yeah. Elijah Wood looks younger.
These two fuckers.
Well, they would make fun of him so much for being fat too, because he put the weight on, like specifically for the role. So they're like, "Well, you're gonna be fat again."
I'm the only thing that tears me about this movie is that I think somebody should have died. Like, it's such a big, crazy but at the same time that I say that, I don't want anybody to die.
Yeah.
I'm happy that nobody did.
And it's one of those things, like, these book guys, like the people who are fans of this book are like along the lines of Harry Potter. If you made any severe change, people would lose their mind. People weren't happy with what they left out of this. They understood, but they weren't happy about it. Like your Tom Bombadils and stuff. They're like, how do you leave that out? They're like, brilliant movie, 10 out of 10, but seriously.
How do you had to. I thought their explanation was terrific.
Yeah.
Oh, here they are. Yeah. Oh, it's the extended. That's why I'm like, look at this scene.
So this scene is actually considered, like, this is one of the extended scenes as well, because you get the whole Saruman and all that. You don't see Saruman in the third.
You do not know what happens to him. Yeah. There's no explanation. Suddenly he's just gone. They have this rumble, and then you don't hear him ever again.
The only time you just hear Treebeard go, "The filth of Saruman is washed away," and then they find the Palantir, and so it's like. Yeah, it's kind of amazing to see how you can take out that big chunk and it just not matter.
I don't know why they didn't come out with the extended versions in the beginning.
Because I think if it came out now, they would have.
Right.
But then people weren't used to sitting down. Like, sitting down for a 3-hour movie was a feat. Like, really, Titanic was like for a long time the only 3-hour movie. It's like Braveheart.
No, they had big old ones back in the day.
Well, back in the day, and those ones would also have like 20-minute intermissions.
That's right.
And like,
I dug the intermission. Kind of dig that. You don't like it, eh?
I have, like, if I'm into a story, don't get me into the story and go, now stop everything.
Well, okay, no, here's the thing. Okay. A lot of the time an intermission would be, in my ideal, like, okay, it is long, but you know you're going to have an intermission, so you make a thing. You don't have, like in the play, like, like fucking When I Died or whatever, in that fucking army play.
Yeah, I remember that.
I die, and then there's an intermission.
Yeah.
There's a definite break in the story.
That almost makes it feels like two movies.
That's right. Well, no, but then it makes sense to have the break.
Yeah.
It's not just like you're stopping a scene.
Yeah. But there's also pressure to then have that. Right. So I mean, these ones do. They all have because it's just
a 3-hour movie. Yeah. You do not need an intermission. No. A 4-hour movie. Yes,
I agree. But at the same time, it was just like that was something that to even think about a 3.5 or 4-hour movie in that kind of context that they didn't even know how these were going to do. They're like, no, if people find out this thing's going to be 3.5 hours, they're not even going to bother coming to see it. That was their attitude.
That's ridiculous.
But that was just the kind of thing. It's like nobody really knew this was a giant risk for them. They got a guy who has no real pedigree for filmmaking.
Who?
Like Peter Jackson. Well, I mean, when they picked Peter Jackson, he had some movies, but he was doing like a horror director.
Yeah, he was making goofy things. It's the same thing with Marvel. They can see it.
Yes, but that is now.
Right.
We have been through this.
Right.
People like Peter Jackson broke the glass ceiling. They're like, oh, if a guy like that can go from Meet the Feebles to Lord of the Rings, then somebody can go from What We Do in the Shadows to
I need to watch that still. Somebody I'll mention that to me actually yesterday. They're like, have you seen it? I was like, no, but I should watch it.
So I just recently picked up for season 2 as well.
Is it good? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen any of it yet, no.
Have you seen the movie?
I've seen the movie.
How is it?
It's good.
It's not hilarious.
No, it's...
You're not like, this is the funniest fucking, I'm dying,
like, it's
I'm
the
laughing.
same way I felt about Flight of the Conchords, which is Jermaine Clement and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's like, they're funny guys doing funny stuff, but it's not like the over-the-top hilarious that drives me out of my mind.
Right. It's not Community to you. It's some humorous thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let me get back to the movie here.
Yes.
So that scene just before, we're past it, but when he was like, can we not just have peace, you and I? And it was like, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. It's like,
you're defeated now. And now you're trying to pull another fucking move like he just did right there.
Yeah, Cardi B her head would explode. Can we have peace? Bitch, please.
Look at that. Does he not notice? He should have known just by looking at her that he's now Gandalf the White.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, here he is. There's
Brad
Chucky.
Still kind of sad that he's not Chucky. I'm gonna miss him as the voice of Chucky.
Mark Hamill is.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't heard him as it.
I heard him say something, but I don't know if he was doing Chucky or if he was teasing or no. And it's not Chucky either. He's got a different name.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
cool.
Buddy or something like that.
I don't like the way Chucky looks.
No, I think that's why they went with like a reboot essentially.
I
of Chucky.
don't hate it.
Yeah.
I'm not like the Sonic. We should talk about Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh. We're gonna record something on the phone. No, we're gonna record something on the phone on the way home,
Okay,
and
cool.
we're gonna.
Very cool.
But
You
yeah,
are
that was
lesser
funny.
son of great. He's giving a lot of information right now.
That's a line like right out of Game of Thrones too.
This is Beast right here, man. Listen to him. Like,
And yes,
fuck you.
I am aware Game of Thrones came out way later too. I'm just saying that is a reminiscent of Game of Thrones. So this is an interesting thing because we're about to get the stab in the back thing, and they were, I guess Peter Jackson was trying to teach.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus, he was trying to teach Saruman how to get stabbed in the back, or what it would sound like, or what it would feel like. He's like, I've been to war. I know what it sounds like when a man is stabbed to death. And I was like, that is a gross thing to say.
Yes,
like, and that's
is.
when you just stop. You're just
Who
like,
said that?
Christopher
Lee?
Christopher Lee said that to Peter Jackson. He's like, no, you don't tell me what it sounds like when a guy's breath is leaving him. He's like, that's something I did for a living.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Ooh, I got like, woo.
I know, right? And that was
see, right there. You never got to see this in the other one.
no, that was this whole chunk. And there's so much acting and so much
Ooh, it's like Gravatas there, man.
Oh,
Like,
I got it
holy
too.
fuck.
Gravatas.
Those rubber bumps together. Yeah.
Oh my God, the friction.
It's like two suede pants. It's two corduroy pants rubbing together. There he is,
good.
dead good. You fucking
And well,
piece of
and to
shit.
me, more Christopher Lee, the better. That was like he was a highlight for me when he appeared in The Hobbit because he was not supposed to be in The Hobbit. Like he's not in the story. He's mentioned by name in the story,
Right.
but you never see him. So they when you actually saw him show up, you're like, oh motherfucker! And then when you get to see him be a good guy and he's fighting against evil and stuff in the third one,
Oh,
you're just
before.
like, yeah,
Like in the
Hobbit, yeah.
The filth, there's a line right there that you
Yeah.
said, the filth of Saruman is
So that's
washing
where
away.
that's where you rejoin. But what's crazy is with the it looks like an old marble. Remember when we used to play marbles?
Yep.
I only liked Steelies.
I wish I had one of those, man.
You can
This should be
get-
the new Saruman
can get those.
fucking
Oh, absolutely. They all looked like
marble.
Saruman,
Yeah, they
though.
called it. It was
Basically-
like the cat's eye one,
Yeah.
right, with the shit in the middle.
Yeah, that would be a great
And
thing
all
to.
black.
That would
Bowling
probably.
ball. You can make a cool bowling ball.
Oh my god, that would be fucking
Yup.
amazing. Somebody has to have done it.
You know, the problem is because if you're into bowling, you're already nerdy enough. Like, that's what you're into.
Yeah,
You didn't see these. You're too busy jacking off about bowling. You know?
you know the name of the guy who like did the crotch shop. Who do you think you are? I am.
Yes.
Which is still the best thing I've ever heard. This is like the sexiest shot in the world.
Is this still here?
No,
is New Zealand, right?
The hill's there, but all the sets are gone.
I'm so due to my old lady.
Yeah.
We're due so bad. I'm watching Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah.
I'm invested.
Yeah.
I'm not falling asleep. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
And our deal is this is what she has to watch, the extended. And I know she's just gonna fall. It's gonna have to be in the afternoon. And it's gonna be like, don't you dare get up. Don't you dare.
Yeah.
I've fully immersed myself in Stargate Atlantis.
You know what I did? I made the deal with my wife. We never finished them actually, but
See, that's women for you. They don't fucking live up to their end of the bargain.
Well, no, but there was no deal. She actually just agreed. She was just being cool and agreed
Whatever.
to
Sure,
try
there
it.
wasn't. You're just
But-
saving her because you're a good man.
I am a good man, but that's neither here nor there. But and I like this too. Just this, you get a little bit of joy. This is something you don't usually get in a third movie. Usually, by the beginning of the third movie, everything is as bad as it
Bleak
can
as
possibly
fuck.
be.
Yeah.
But
You gotta have a little bit of revelry.
yeah. But anyways, yeah, I think we got we did one disc at a time was how we did it.
Right.
And it was like, so we're going to watch them like 2-hour movies, and that's how we're going to get through it. And then it's not so much. And so I'm going to try and get her to do it again. I think I'm going to try and get the kids to watch it too.
You
I think the
should.
kids would get into it.
Oh, I think that
Reese is a fucking.
I like that
beast.
your kids have all the stuff and the gear. I would really like to see your daughter come out with like some elf gear on or something one day. You know what I mean? Like she loved it and she wants to be
Oh, that would make
like
me.
Liv Tyler's character. What's his name?
Arwen.
Arwen. Yeah, Arwen or one of the elves.
Well, I'm going to tell you, the one thing that this movie does not do as badly as Game of Thrones.
There's no Starbucks coffee cups lying around.
Oh, that was fucking funny. They screwed up another thing too that nobody had mentioned because they were talking about King's Landing, and there's a big scene where Tyrion meets with the Hand of the King in this like barren area near a gate and stuff like that. But when you see all other shots of King's Landing, the whole the whole kingdom is surrounded by water except one area, which is all forest. So like, where the fuck is this barren land that they were?
Right.
So they were like, that's actually a much bigger thing than a Starbucks cup. I was talking to Carrie about it yesterday, my wife, and she was like, I don't understand what the big deal is. I'm like, the big deal is they have been the most meticulous show on television for years now.
Yep.
And then, so the one mistake is outstanding to them. They're like, well, how does that happen? And it's like, shit happens. Actually,
exactly. Shit happens.
The guy who plays Davos on Conan came out. He was on just like a couple days after that happened. He was like, oh, I have a gift for you. And he gave him a Starbucks cup.
In my opinion, I'll bet you that what had happened was whoever was in that scene had a fucking Starbucks coffee. And they're like, oh, see, time to go see. And they're like, oh, fuck. And they put it down and they did the scene. And then it was like, even the continuity guy was just like, oh, fuck.
Well, it was either that or it was some makeup person had their coffee and came out, put it down, touch up Emilia Clarke, and then did shit.
Hopefully they don't get fired because shit happens, man.
Well, it doesn't matter. The show's done.
Did anybody really care?
The show's done now, so it doesn't matter. There's no getting fired.
Oh, the last one happened.
No, it didn't happen, but it's been shot.
Oh, like it's already been filmed, so you're not going to be fired or regardless.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that doesn't look negatively on them in the future of their career. Be like, oh, you forgot the fucking cover. Like, who cares? Fuck.
No, I think it'll be fine. It'll be forgotten. It's just that right now so many people are watching it with such close eyes that it just got the attention.
Okay, so like we spoke before about the revelry happening now.
Yes.
This is a very long journey.
Yeah.
There's more to go. But it's not pressing, it's not pressing enough that you got to keep moving. They just won a huge battle.
Yeah.
There's a little,
Yeah.
I feel bad for Watson.
This is actually the
so in love with Aragorn.
I know. This scene is the one that kind of then reminds you, oh yeah, we're not done yet.
Yeah.
Just in case you forgot, we've sent Frodo to die. And but what I was saying about Game of Thrones is what this doesn't do as bad, because again, so many names, so many similar, like Boromir and Faramir and like these kind of things. Fucking Game of Thrones, especially in the book, they changed names in the of some people in the TV show just so we wouldn't have this problem.
Okay.
But in the book, like there is a guy named like Yoren, there's a Joran, there's a Jojen, there's a like
it's like a fucking like the cherry orchard. What's his name? Not Dostoevsky, but yeah.
But it's
where it's just like, oh my god, there's like 1,000 names.
Yeah.
And then they all have nicknames.
Yeah.
They all have 5 nicknames.
But then they also all have their family names, their house names are all ones that you also have to know, because like I'm Jojen Reed. I'm like, well, what does that have to do? Oh, because Howland Reed is this person,
right?
Blah, 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 blah. Or they'll talk about Jojen Reed and he's like, I'm son of Howland Reed. Then 6 seasons later, they'll mention Howland Reed and you have to put that shit back together.
Yeah.
And you're like,
or they mention him once. Like I'm saying, like like Stargate Atlantis is not like the most complex show.
Oh, also Jory and Jorah.
They'll just be like, me and you.
Yeah.
Beginning of the episode, we're walking. I mentioned something, you mentioned something, just like you're saying, and then before, like a season later, they're like, "Remember they mentioned this guy?" And I'm like, "No, like what?" Like,
yeah, I know. Which is why it's very important. Like when you watch on like Walking Dead or Game of Thrones, when they have that previously on, watch the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah,
because every frame of it means something.
Yep.
And
it always does, because it won't be there. It won't be, but they'll be like, okay, you need to know these things from the last 4 episodes for this specific episode. So they're like, last time, but they didn't give you a full synopsis of all 4 seasons. They just gave you what you needed to know to go into this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's like the rest you'll just figure out.
Should I watch Game of Thrones? Is it worth it?
I have a proposal that I want to put forward to you that will force you to watch Game of Thrones. I genuinely believe you will like the show.
Okay.
I
think you were right. If you think I'd like it, I think you're right.
It is every bit along the lines of this as far as fantasy.
Right.
And I know we were talking about that and you're like, I like a good fantasy, some magic and some whatever. So this is right up there. But then it's just like, and there's a brutality and like there's boobs and there's explosions and there's all sorts of great stuff in there. There's a little bit of tedium, but not a lot.
What else isn't there? Like, watch all the shows on Netflix.
Yeah, but it's
a long form. It's like, we could have gotten there 2 episodes ago, but we got to milk it out. So, like, come on, right? Like, I understand. Fuck.
Yeah. How'd you meet your mother? Oh, at a wedding.
17 episodes, seasons later. Exactly, right?
Now, granted, other than the last season, I thoroughly enjoyed that show. And
is this the scene where, is he going full bad here? Is he he being talked into being bad?
Yes. Yeah, this
I feel
is
so
one
bad for Smeagol too.
I know.
Like,
What a story.
do you feel that? I believe the scene that did it was when red-haired brother there, Faramir was like took him.
Yes.
And Frodo was like, "Oh shit, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't mean this." Like, is that the scene where it turned him?
Well, because he had just convinced himself that
he liked Frodo.
Well, not just that he liked Frodo, but that he could trust.
Right.
He hid himself from the world because he didn't think he'd be able to trust anybody. I like that little reaction of the like when he noticed that his head was bleeding too. That's fucking brilliant. Especially when you're thinking like a CG character,
It's
like
a
to have
CG.
those little. And I know, yes, he acted out every bit of it and stuff like that. I know I laugh at that every time. We were talking about that before the movie.
Reactions, you know what I mean? It's like
I know. I have a thing I want you to guess. Okay, I'm gonna lift this up because I don't even want you.
Okay, no, let me say it.
Okay, a normal movie averages about 200 visual effects shots. This movie had how many visual effects shots?
In a regular movie.
A regular movie.
Like,
has
what do you
about
mean by a regular movie?
Just your average run-of-the-mill movie of today. It would like
not a Marvel movie.
Not a Marvel movie.
Of course, because that's like way the fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 200.
So that would be about 200 shots.
1,200.
1,488.
Oh, it's pretty close.
You were very close. That is, and that was at a level.
I would have been more impressed with that guess, but I've seen all the behind the scenes. Maybe I have like a already recollection of. I was going to ask you before.
Yeah.
I believe this to be the best behind the scenes DVDs you can get.
There will, I think, the DVD sets for these, and when you get the proper Blu-ray compendiums that have the appendices and stuff like that, it does not get better because you get the entire story about the book, you get the entire story about pre-production, you get the entire story about production and post-production. It still has one of the great things you'll see too is at the end of, you actually see when this movie wins all its Oscars, and you actually get to see the party that occurred. Afterwards, and you see the picture of all of the Oscars all sitting on one table, and I'm just like, they
deserved it.
Oh, absolutely,
they deserved every fucking one of those Oscars.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit when a lot of people like, what's his name just won a award, and they're like, I'll take this pity award. I don't care. Like,
I tell you though, the two that this failed to win were in part one. Ian McKellen should have won Best Supporting Actor. In part two, Andy Serkis should have won Best Supporting Actor.
I agree.
Ian McKellen was nominated. Andy Serkis was not. And
he should have been. Yeah. Because my God, like that's such a good story when they talk about like how he shows up. We probably talked about the other one, especially when he's in the water, right? That's the main scene where they first started filming and we're like, what the fuck is this? Like this is, why is he even here? And then by the end, they're like, we couldn't have done it without him. Like, he couldn't have done it without him being here.
Oh, absolutely. What was really interesting about this, too? The first time Peter Jackson saw this the completed film, like not a cut of the film, but the completed, finished film, was at the premiere because they were still processing.
Holy shit.
Because the final...
Did he think there was too many endings?
No, I don't know what his feelings were on it. He didn't cut any. He didn't add any. So
it doesn't bother me.
Well, no. You know what it did? It does something that other movies don't do because of the book. No, it's because the book has the appendices and it tells you what happens to everybody.
Yes.
But they didn't just want to leave it on, hey, everybody was happy, and then we're going to go to Frodo.
Let's see what happens.
And then, like, you have, like, realistically, I actually thought, because he had so many endings in the theatrical, like, it's the same. I legitimately thought you were going to see more endings. I thought you were going to see Legolas return home. I thought you were going to see Gimli return home. I thought all that was going to happen.
Gimli doesn't have a home, yo.
Well, he'd find a place. Like, he'd go and, to his...
Where the fuck is he going to go? He doesn't even have a cousin.
Well, actually, he has... No, because Moria wasn't his home. That was his cousin's home.
Oh, that's right.
Balin.
Dear God, man. Like, I feel like I've seen these, but now I'm sitting here with, like...
So many dudes. I love that shot, too.
How the fuck do you keep all this shit straight, man?
I don't remember my children's name. We talked about this. It's not a problem. But,
there he is. Always, don't fuck around with this thing,
if I snap my fingers a bunch and say, you, come here. They'll come here.
You like, would you go to see a psychic? Like a crystal ball, a mystic? Would you go have your palms or your future read?
Fun, not.
I wouldn't do it.
Not to assume.
I would not do it. Not even for fun.
I'll tell you why. Because I told you this story before, but the one time I went to that psychic fair, and then the psychic came up and did his read on me, And then I was just kind of, okay, yeah, that was kind of accurate. And then I went and then I heard him do the exact same read on another person. And I'm like, it's all
your palms.
It's cold reading.
What's your name? Your palms or whatever.
Yeah.
I can read your feet. What are you? You're a Sagittarius. You're right.
Yeah.
What was it in Total Recall? I was like,
yeah. Well, there's a thing. There's a great thing that actually covers it. John Oliver did a great thing on it and talked about how they do their thing and showed people who got like blown out of their minds. Like one person literally was met. She had been like meeting with people whose like kids were missing and going, oh, they're okay or they're not, blah, blah, blah. So then they went and the news was like, they made up a story and they're like, whatever. And they're like, I'm sorry, that person's dead. And they're like, he's actually sitting right next to you. He's not missing at all. She's like, oh, and just like, you've been exposed. Like, it's just like,
that's hilarious. The same one. I went to the same psychic fair.
Yeah.
I didn't give into it though.
No, and well,
I do honestly believe that there are real psychics out there. I do believe that people have the ability to read into things that we don't, like in tune to things, but I think a lot of it is also a sham.
I think that more often than not, I think that people are very intuitive about people.
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
Yeah. And I can feel
where you're going.
I know what you're feeling. I know whatever. And I know that, like, so to say this is technically reading your future, but it's me being that. It's almost like being a profiler. It's like, I know where they're going to go next, which is predicting the future.
Because you've already, basically from all these cases that where most go.
Yes.
So then you can generally steer it like
in
a direction.
You're like, they're going to be looking for this. They're going to be looking for this.
Do you believe that there are psychics? Real psychics?
I don't. I think it is more on perception than power.
Right.
It is. They are able to tell you real things based on a real ability, but it's not that a spirit is like whispering it in their ear. Because if, let's say, the spirit realm exists, how okay, well, no, okay, I'm just just devil's advocate.
Yeah, if it does, okay.
Right. So if the spirit realm exists, you're everywhere, but you're nowhere, but maybe you are a thing that's way over there. So like, how are we calling people? And like a thing that I can buy the same crystal ball that person has.
You can buy a Ouija board from Parker Brothers.
Exactly. Well, precisely.
Right.
So it's just like, is that calling them there? Or like, it becomes that sort of thing. Or it's just like, I would believe more if it was a person who's just like, I'm going to pick up whoever's here.
Maybe like, Parker Brothers, like they say, were with Satan, like they were Satanists. They were, and maybe they made some thing where that when these
made
Ouija
Monopoly
boards come
there
out,
with Satan.
Like, of course they are. What a fucking addictive game. They probably made Fortnite too. Fucking piece of shit. But maybe they made a deal with Satan so that it really does contact the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
There's a lot of unknown variables out there, man.
Yeah. I don't want to discount anything. That's what I'll say.
Right.
But it's again, in my experience and in what I could only form my opinions based on what I see and what I know.
Right.
Right. So it's like, but at the exact same time, totally willing to accept whatever. Right. It's like, hey, by the way, this is actually a thing. I'm like, all right,
saw it.
Let me.
You'd be like, I'm not going to discount this.
Yep. Let me adjust that in my settings, and now I'm into that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you won't go out of the. Like they always do, like in the movies and stuff, where it's like, whoa, like I just saw something. Everybody's like, oh, like the kids, like, oh man, blah blah, things are going crazy. I see things. You're like, you're crazy. This is just a new house, and you're nervous about your new surroundings. I'm going to go hang out in the basement for a while.
Yeah.
And then, then you see something, and then you're like, just seeing shit too.
Yeah,
Don't you think in that moment you'd be like, holy fuck, Mike?
Yeah. At the very least, I'm going to be there for
yeah,
them.
You're going to be like, okay, I'm so sorry. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, wow.
Like, let's get the It's always the mom.
Yeah.
The mom's always like, something's going on. Dad's like, we spent too much on this house. I'm going into the basement. Yeah. Dad always spends too much time in the basement.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And the ghost.
I know. Oh, yeah. And that's, again, I think because another part is because everything that's ever presented to me is so easily explained or such like those Ghost Hunter TV shows are the worst.
Oh
thing
my! Don't even get holy fuck!
It's like 6 bouncers get together and they're like, "Hey, bro, it's me, Gronk."
6 bouncers. You know?
Look, we bought
someone farts and they're just like, "Wah!"
we got him. That was actually an SNL skit.
What?
There was this SNL skit where they're like, we have this like super like infrared camera, blah blah blah, and it was showed the guy there, and you just see, and then like the gas comes out.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is essentially what I want in our lives.
Yes.
This moment. But we both live. We both live.
I'm good either way.
We both live. We
both
have
of
to
us.
break up.
Yeah.
You give me the long bottom leaf.
Good, because
and we both break up.
Yeah.
But only, you know, like Bob and Doug McKenzie, like, oh my God, like.
Can I make a little bit of a shocking statement? We've already done that.
I know.
This happened.
Right, it did.
So,
but it wasn't like we weren't saving the world. Maybe we were. Maybe we were saving the world.
Well, they led to this. So,
but there wasn't this moment. We didn't have the moment of like we're leaving.
No,
stupid true. Life just did what it does.
Life left.
Yeah, you know, fuck.
Goddamn life.
And there he goes, getting off the gray after their big battle.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to save that for after. I just found a really good piece of trivia, and I'm like, I'm not saying that
Leave
now.
Come on now. I like that, what's his name? Aragorn. He doesn't do a lot of movies, but when he does, they mean. You know, like Green Book. Like, he doesn't seem to be in a lot of stuff.
No. God, I bet you Green Book would
have
been
in a band too or something. He's one of those guys.
He's in Dogstar. He's the drummer in Dogstar.
Yeah, he's like drumming while he paints, like, you know, fucking
Oh yeah,
he's a picture of Alice Cooper in another band.
He's a photographer, he's a painter, he's a musician.
I want to go back here to before, now that we're looking at these
sexy elves.
The elves.
Yeah.
Do you believe that an elf could outdrink a dwarf?
Well, the idea is that things that are built for man don't affect them.
Oh, right. Because like in that scene, you know, way back, he's like,
yeah.
Pardon me.
It's like, well, because even this was a big thing in the first movie. Legolas, this is the ugliest, weirdest looking kid I've ever seen in my life.
I like that shot, actually.
I was thinking really like, I like the shot, but like, look at the kid's face. It's like, that's an old man's face on a child.
Well, you know the
so
show.
Weird.
Exactly. That's what they did.
Yeah, I know.
That's Stan Lee. Like, fuck, they just like morphed it. Oh my God, what just happened there?
Yeah.
He's really fighting against his buddy's kid.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, it's their kid.
See, he looks fine there. It's just in that one shot. And then there's a shot where he looks at you and there's like, something wrong with that face. That ain't your face. That's like animatronic. Look, he's just...
I hate you, mother.
That's
you
how
killed dad.
Whenever I like see an old girl from high school, and then I like they're with their husband or whatever, and I give him a hug. That's the look I give to the husband every single time. Go fuck your girl.
I already did.
See, look at
this could be mine. Yeah.
Precisely my eyes.
God,
with my hair blowing in the wind. In my hair, I mean arm hair.
Like, why are you so mad? Yeah, you're fucking your tit hair. You're fucking like, why is like, what's the problem here?
Well, because she's kind of been tricked. She was told, like, the person who she knows who can see the future said, "There's nothing here for you. You need to leave." And then she just she's got a little bit of the gift. And then
she's like, "You fucking lying piece of shit. We have a kid.
You fucker."
Yeah,
that means something to me.
He's not just dead, and I'm crying next to his Han Solo and bicarbonate.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a very dark feeling though, or it's a very dark like picture that he painted for her though, right?
Yes, it was. Like, well, he's trying to get her to leave.
He's like, because all the elves are gonna be gone.
Yeah,
it's only gonna be men. They're all gonna die. It's just gonna be you.
He is doing what he feels is the best for his daughter.
Absolutely.
You can't live with this man. We don't live with humans because he's gonna die. You're gonna be fucking miserable for like a century.
His face is built for film. Like,
yes, it is.
Every expression he makes is like, that needs to be in a movie.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's been in recently, but
Mortal Engines.
Oh dear Lord! Yeah. Well, he's like Peter Jackson's like call guy.
Yeah. Well, it must be nice. Again, it must be very nice to have that. He was in. I don't understand for the life of me still why he didn't come back and do.
I don't understand why he didn't like it.
I think it was I think it was probably just the tedium of having so much, like the makeup process.
Did you see that thing with the? I think I said this to you already. It was like a fast like a time lapse photograph, like, you know, of it was Batista, and then it was Nebula, and then it was. And it was funny because Batista, it was funny to watch them because Batista just stood there the whole time.
Yeah.
Not blinking, not talking, not saying. He just stood there.
Yeah.
And then it was like Karen Gillan was on her phone, and Gamora was sitting down and on her phone. And
I see
Gamora
some people
was like falling asleep for a while while they, you know, fucked with her. But Batista was just like, I'm standing here.
Well, at the same time, though, he's the only people who has actual body prosthetics.
But I mean, he could have sat down for a lot of the beginning part. It was all his face and. I can't believe they do every day. Stick the fucking tattoos on and like.
I know, it's such a thing.
This is when actors talk about like how shitty it is to make movies.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, and it was like that. We've said the saying before. You know, you act for free, you get paid to wait, or whatever. And that's part of it. Like that's all the. Like that's
who said that's a great quote.
I don't know who said
you act for free because it's 12 minutes in a day. Yeah. You get paid to wait.
Like it's a super. It's somebody who's known, and it's like one of those like old sayings and stuff like that. It's 100% true though.
Yeah.
Because like this is the dream.
Sounds like a Bob Hope quote or something.
No, it's a like a Laurence Olivier. It's like a Laurence Olivier.
Right, that's what I mean. Like an old school guy.
Yeah. But
look at her. What a beautiful. Look, she's on.
She doesn't get
pupils.
I'm actually. I'll put it out for most people in this. Nobody gets nearly enough roles from this movie.
I agree.
It was like even
I don't know if she's going for roles. I don't know if she had some kids and didn't want to, but I like her.
Like she acts from time to time and stuff like that. It's like he acts his face off. Elijah Wood just, I think, changed the focus of what he wanted to do, and he's doing what he wants now. He's got his own fucking company.
Wait, he's got the company to make horror movies. Yep. He's on his own trip, man.
Sean Astin, he again is just he's picking up things here and there. Billy Boyd, a lot of indie stuff.
Well, I saw what's his name, buddy from Lost.
Dominic Monaghan.
He was on a Wild.
He had his own show. It was really good, too.
I liked it a lot. I like him. I think he's very personable. I think he's very likable.
Underutilized.
Yes, he's great.
In what was it? He was in X-Men Origins Wolverine for a minute.
Just a minute, yeah.
Well, he's the like first guy that like Sabretooth kills.
That's right.
But the big one, he's going to be in the next Star Wars movie.
He is?
Yeah. So
good for him.
So we got that going. I don't know what he's playing or anything like that. I don't think we'll even know after the movie came out. They're
like the new one with the new preview.
Episode 9.
Out. Yeah, 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a good one.
Minas Tirith, this is fucking gorgeous. Eh? Again, the miniatures are the star of all of these movies, because to be given, this was built all in the same place that Helm's Deep was built too. It's the exact same.
Why you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
But like, why didn't he, being Peter Jackson, go with the same thing that he did here, with a lot of it being really there? Because those Hobbit movies are just like, holy shit, man.
It's the it's a lot of things. It's probably we're giving you this much money and they know how much it's going to cost. Like to do this went up in price. Whereas it's like, hey, we can shoot this digitally and we can do this and do that and make it more efficient. And
right.
It's like inflation happened, and it's like, well, we have to be a little bit more efficient in our filmmaking. Yeah,
there's no way. But I mean, I think that now in this day and age, the practical is going to cost you less than all this fucking a warehouse full of dudes.
I would disagree, mainly because A, the warehouse of dudes is already there.
Right.
B, the technologies have gotten more efficient, faster, and cheaper.
Right.
Whereas realistically, everything else has stayed the same. It's going to take a model maker the same amount of time to build a model. It's going to take a guy making a 3D model a quarter of the time that it used to take.
I still, but like I hear what you're saying, but I mean, like, it's not like the whole town is made.
No.
You know, like when you watch these movies, it's like in that scene where Buddy's like, that big fucking thing's landed on him.
Yeah.
Half that thing is really there.
Yeah.
So when the camera's there, that thing's really sitting there, and the background's a big screen, and everything else is CG.
I agree. Yeah,
I agree with that sense. Like, everything doesn't have to be really there.
Exactly. I think
to give my eye something real to focus on without all this cartoon nonsense happening.
I think that there's a balance that just isn't being met right now.
Right.
Because there is efficiencies do need to be made. But like it's where they need to be made and how much, and then again, digital film also was it's still not quite where it needed to be,
right?
And stuff like that, which doesn't help. It makes everything look shiny, like shinier in a bad way. So this is the first time you would have seen John Noble had the extended editions not come out, because you actually see him for the first time in the extended edition of The Two Towers.
Yes.
In that flashback scene with Boromir and Faramir. But this is his actual theatrical introduction right here.
Oh, that's the horn.
Yes, that's Boromir's horn.
That's right. He is such a good actor, this guy.
John Noble is a goddamn genius.
I think he's really good as well.
He was in one show. I don't remember the name of it now. I keep wanting to say
Buddy
Sliders.
From Lost.
Yeah.
Not Sliders.
I know it wasn't Sliders because
Fringe.
that's Fringe. Thank you. I only say Sliders because John Rhys Davies is in Sliders.
Right. Yeah.
But it's and I
I fucking hated Sliders, man.
You'll never guess my secret slide identity. See what I did? But
I don't know.
I don't know. But speaking of John Rhys Davies and John Noble, John Rhys Davies originally auditioned to play Denethor, this character right here, and instead got two way bigger roles.
I can see, exactly.
I can't see John Rhys Davies playing this role
I've
at all.
never read the books. I should read them. I want to know Tom Bombadil and stuff, but I heard there's a lot of singing, and it's like a lot of
Here's my thing. The storytelling, really good. I had such a problem because I was like, I don't have time to read it. And I usually don't. What are
you talking about? Wait a second. You've seen every fucking television show that's come on. So you're telling me that you can take a couple hours and read a book instead of watching all that fucking TV?
But I'm going to tell you the difference. The difference is a TV show I can watch for 20 minutes. I was like, I'm never going to get through a book if I can only read it in 20 minutes.
Right.
Spurts. Right? And it's like,
unless it's like a Dean Koontz, you go like chapter by chapter where they're quick chapters.
But legitimately, I'm still on a comic book compendium that I started reading around Christmas. I'm not done it.
Dude, I am behind in everything.
Yeah.
Netflix. I did finish The Punisher finally. Did I tell the crowd here?
I think so.
Season 2 is good.
Yeah.
Season 2 is much better.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I think The Punisher, maybe not for me. The character himself.
Did you know that The Punisher was Ghost Rider at a point?
They're all somebody.
I didn't know that. Well, I happened to see, because we were talking about Ghost Rider becoming a TV show a while back, and our first Coming Attractions episode coming back. I was like, oh yeah, Ghost Rider's coming back. And then shortly thereafter, there was a poll that came out. It was like, who was your favorite Ghost Rider? And it was the Latino one, who's the one the TV show's gonna be about. Johnny Blaze, another name that I didn't see, and then Frank Castle. I'm like, Frank Castle was Ghost Rider? That would be amazing.
That's cool.
That would be an interesting season 3 twist had they not put him in. I was like, where he becomes Ghost Rider for a bit.
That'd be cool.
But
that'd be cool. I'm saying, I don't know if Frank Castle's for me, man.
I don't know. I really like the actor though. I think he did such
John.
a good job.
I think I
John
agree.
Bernthal,
I agree.
But
this wayward mercenary guy, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, it kind of has a little bit of kung fu in it. Yes. It's just I'm going from place to place.
And I will help you. What are you doing now? You're just hanging a fight. It's not, honestly, okay, I'll say this though.
Or the old Incredible Hulk show.
I think that Daredevil is like the best iteration of a character that Marvel has done. I think that Daredevil is amazing.
That's not a hot take.
I think that his progression is amazing. I think that with Buddy, his bad guy Kingpin is awesome, and then in the new season with fucking what's his name, Ricochet, Bullseye, like holy shit, man, like
that was really cool.
So awesome.
That was really cool.
They do it perfect, and Jessica Jones is terrific as well.
She's really good. That's just that one's all character driven. But I wish the Purple Man could have been in every goddamn season.
I don't think I agree. I think that the Purple Man was like the best villain.
Yeah,
like out of any of them.
Like I'll put Thanos number 1, but I'll put him number 2.
That purple guy, man. Whoa.
Yeah. And who's also purple, so I guess we'll just
say
purple is the color. So Grimace is going to be the next bad guy in the Marvel universe.
Does the Purple Man have this verbal power over anyone? Like if Purple Man went to Thanos and said, "You do this," does he do it? Here's a question for you out there in this cast commentary universe.
Yeah, have you read the comics? Does that happen, guys?
Because they're more of the down to earth characters. Mm-hmm. But if could he talk to a Galactus character? Could he talk to? I don't mean Galactus himself, but one of the Galactian characters.
Yeah.
Would they do it?
That's very interesting. I don't.
Do you have to have human traits for that to kick in for you to do it, or could you? Or is it anything?
Or a human brain?
Right. Yeah. Or the ability to reason.
Wow. Well, I think the ability to reason, it will be its own thing, but there might be something specific in a human brain that doesn't exist.
That's what I mean. Right. Yeah.
Or might exist.
That's a fucking awesome question.
That's a great question.
Somebody, Grafau, come on, hook us up.
He's dead now. It doesn't even matter. Not Grafau.
Oh my God. I was like, holy Lord.
Grafau had leukemia.
Could the Purple Man really be dead? What if the Purple Man came to you and told you everything that he knows and everything that he was about, and then he said to you, "You're me now"?
Yeah. Well, but
wouldn't you be him?
No, because there was something in him, like they discovered in him. Like it's not like it wasn't a learned trait. It was something in him that exists. Right. So, but he could literally go around and tell everybody I'm dead.
Right.
But it does wear off.
Does it really though?
Well, there's evidence that it has.
Off to the sense that you're not, but he's still there.
That would be a cool.
He's still in there.
That would be a cool thing.
Remember, because he still comes in and is like, "Hey, Jessica," and she's like, "What the fuck?" Like,
That would be really cool if other people started saying they heard about this guy, and she's like, "What the hell? And then found out that would be Disney Plus.
Yeah, cool. Like or in one of the Avengers movies,
it's very
where suddenly, like, in Spider-Man, somebody in the background's like, "You're this Purple Man," and you're just like, "Whoa, like what the fuck?" Like
that would be huge. It wasn't a disappointment. But I really, really was kind of hoping to see people from the TV universe show up. I wanted to see like the fight took to New York, and there was stuff going on, and then you saw the Defenders,
like
there,
exactly, like during the fight,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
and not even in the sense of the Avengers movie, but during like Daredevil and the Defenders, they could have been out there fighting as well in their neighborhoods,
or even so, just the Doctor Strange portals all over the place. Right. What if the Defenders walked through one
and then
of them?
That would have been so cool.
That people would have popped like crazy.
I know, like they
I love that shot. Like I was like the gruesome imagery that comes up, just to bring it back to this movie.
Yeah, we should. No, I agree. I agree. We're watching this movie. We're still talking about Marvel because it's fucking Endgame.
I know. But
sorry, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but like this kind of imagery has been like is super Peter Jackson, and this is exactly what he was brought in here for. He was like, I'm gonna let the story tell itself, but every now and again I'm gonna give you something. Like, for a great example is the Mouth of Sauron. At the end of this, the guy comes out and he's like, "My master bids you greetings."
Look at this. This is a chia.
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings chia.
I thought that was just a chia Jesus they laid down. Did you know? I only learned this again from John Oliver. New Zealand does not show up on a lot of maps because people forget to put it there
because it's flat.
Yeah,
it's way over the corner. It's like way over the corner.
Fell off the edge. No, but like literally, I guess IKEA came out with this map of this world map, just like art piece thing, and it was literally just like New Zealand's not there, and then like they went through and there was a bunch of other things, so they made a website where you can go and get your own cutout New Zealand to put on any maps that it might be missing on.
We should start a new like flat earthers that New Zealand doesn't exist, and Peter Jackson made it up, and the whole thing's CG.
Yeah, he literally shot this entire, like you said, it's all CG. There's none of these actors were even there, and literally the entire thing is just it's just a big empty spot.
They're crisis actors.
Yeah. Or it was just shot in Tasmania, but they were too embarrassed to admit it.
They're all Tasmanian devils, and they CG'd them like those puffins or whatever, right?
Yes.
And the blah 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 yakety schmackety.
Yakety schmackety.
With a big old thing of orange juice.
Again, we're in that zone right now of just everybody, like this is the depression zone. We're just like, if you were feeling good before, it's just like, oh, just so you know, everything's gonna be shitty.
Yeah, they're all separate. So they're in Gondor.
They're in Gondor right now, yes. They're really being cheap here too. They're not doing any scale work. The Billy Boyd's literally
they're being cheap.
Well, no, but
look at this shot.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, usually they'll do the scale thing or something. Right. He's literally just sitting on his knees.
Yeah.
And you can tell by how gigantic his arms are when he's like sitting. So that's just the other actor.
There's some things you gotta like just fucking like, fuck it.
How crazy must that be that like if you take one scene, I would love to do this one time and just take one scene with a hobbit and a grown person, or like somebody who's not a hobbit, and then like take it down piece by piece and go, this is them working on different sets. This is them. They're together, but this person's been switched for a scale double. Now this is the other person, and the other person's been switched for the scale double.
Oh, and fuck, here they come. Here's all
the Corsairs. This is where like every single person here is a crew member from the movie. So obviously that was Peter Jackson.
Where? What do you mean?
Like all the people who are the crew on the boat are all different crew people.
Oh, I think they were all Peter Jackson.
No,
I was like, what?
No.
He was that one guy that looks.
Yeah.
Remember when they go in that rainy?
Yes. He's in all three movies. He's in all three movies. He's in By the Prancing Pony. In the
prancing
first
pony,
one,
that's it.
he's in. I'm trying to remember where he is in the second one.
from Gay
It's
Horses.
missing. It's escaping me now. And then he's the captain on that ship. But everybody else on that ship, because they were trying to find a way to bring out all the. They wanted to honor the crew a bit, like the special effects people and the producers and stuff like that. So every single face that you see on that boat is somebody who worked on the movie.
That's neat.
I think. I think
That's
it's
a little
brilliant.
bonus.
Yeah, and like.
Are people still going to Comic-Con dressed up? Like
Yes.
Lord of the Rings? You still see Lord of the Rings stuff?
Not a lot, but
I find like a lot of the Comic-Con stuff is kind of like topical.
yes,
Not topical, but like,
yeah, no, you're 100% right.
is that the right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Like, you know, then you'll see 500
Yeah.
Deadpools. I was like,
Well, you
oh
don't-
fuck, like.
But I think that some people they have probably been doing cosplay so long that they've probably already done their Lord of the Rings, and it's like so they're doing their ideas are based on this. I love this land.
I still think I want to go as King Orm.
Dude, I will if I could go through all the episode and tell all the people that you've decided.
I
you're
know.
going to go
Like,
as,
no, Captain. So I know who I've said.
you're gonna have to go 75 times.
No, I know who I've said it. It's
Yeah.
all, I break it down. I like this. This is cool. That's cool. I see this movie,
Yeah.
but I think it's either the guy who's like he's called the champion of the universe.
Yes,
Or King Orm.
okay.
But that's like looks expensive, man.
As I said
Fuck.
when I was on the Who Cares Anyway podcast, I said I would go as a Lobot from Star Wars with a major depression problem and let himself go.
Which one's Lobot?
He's the one in Empire Strikes Back who he's the bald guy with the ear, the thing that goes around his
Yes.
ears. He's like Lando's
Yes.
right hand man.
Yep.
So I'm just like Lando.
That guy?
No. He's human.
I know the guy you mean. Yes.
Yeah. And so I'm
It's
just
like a reverse. Like he took Jordy's thing and
Yes.
flipped it around,
Pretty much.
to be cool. Like when you flip your hat.
I've actually been looking into the logistics of building that thing and
You
stuff.
should.
I would love to, but I was like, I don't even know where to begin
What do
on
you mean?
that.
Like you don't even have to make it like just fucking tape it to your head or something.
Oh,
like,
if
you know
I'm
what I
good, no,
mean?
because if I'm going to do it, I want to do it.
I know you gotta
Amazing.
start somewhere.
I know.
I think that scene before, right? That like, I think a lot of people watching the movie
I love this scene.
don't get the full effect of what Frodo is truly going through.
Oh, 100%. Because I think like if you just watch this on its surface and you're not like really digging into, I love that because it's the first time you connect these people in a really long time.
Oh, right. Like
Right,
they're right.
like they're both seeing the same thing for the first time. It's like somewhere out there, but sorry, that tickled me. But yeah, it's like if you just watch this very on its surface, all you're thinking is, man, Frodo's such a bitch.
He's not a bitch at all.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is just
Right.
if you're not really digging into the meat of the matter.
The fact that he even made it here without murdering somebody or giving the ring away or like fucking somebody over is
Yeah.
crazy. Oh,
And literally, that's all he tried to do at the beginning is take this. You
Is
take
that-
it. Give it to him.
The Nazgul.
This is the
whatever
witch-
it's called.
Yes, that's
That
the
one I remembered.
There you go.
Look at that
they've-
fucker.
It's cool because they really had to go in a direction because they didn't want it to look like a dragon. They didn't want it to like look like a dinosaur.
Jesus, listen to that thing with the headphones
I
on. Like,
know.
holy, it's still going.
Yeah, I know that was I never realized how
Jesus.
long that went on. And then you get the armies marching for the first time. The thing I really like, I don't know if you know this about what they're doing with the Amazon series. The beginning of the Lord of the Rings TV show will not begin at the beginning of the Lord of the Rings book. It's going to start
It's going to be
way earlier.
Yeah, it's going to be
the previous Age of Men.
There's three ages.
Yes.
This is the third age.
Yes.
They talk about the first, which is when the battle happened.
Yeah. So what
And it's
essentially
in between after the big battle where they chopped his fingers off.
Yeah.
And the ring until now. Which I
So-
think is cool as
Well,
fuck.
I
like.
think that at least for several seasons, or not for several seasons, but at least for several episodes, it's going to be the prologue. And then you're going to dip in, and then you're going to jump ahead. They're going to go, here's where this movie, or where the first movie did it in like an 11-minute prologue. They're going to do it in maybe 5-6 episodes. I don't know. They haven't said for certain. Whoever thought, whenever I hear them go, hey, there's stairs. These aren't stairs. This is just a mountain that's slightly
Exactly.
carved out.
Right. That's the way that
Just
he
put it
knows
out
because it's good to climb up.
I know.
And they said stairs. He's finding this way for them. Yeah. This is the easiest way to go.
It is. But what I really like too,
it's not really that easy.
It's not even that it's the easiest. It's that it's going to lead them to something that's going to.
That's right. Yeah.
But the interesting thing too is I guess it was just as difficult to navigate as they say in the story, because a lot of it's made of styrofoam, so it was breaking out from underneath them. Plus, it's slippery.
Right.
So they're trying to climb it and they're like slipping and falling. They're just not in danger of dying.
That's actually my MVP right there. That's the Tony Starks of this whole thing right there, Samwise.
It's Stark.
Right fucking there.
I'm just going to put that up.
What did I just say?
You say every
Tony Snark?
Every time you have said Tony Stark, it has been Tony Starks. And I just let it go because
I've been letting you ride till now, motherfucker.
No. We're out of that zone now. We're out of that zone, so now you got to get it right. But a lot of the time, it's one of those things where it kind of is like, well, maybe it was a little possessive. So it's, you can say Tony. It's Tony Stark.
Right.
It's like whatever. But it's like when people say Costco's. It's not. There's no S in Costco's.
What am I?
Fucking
dear God.
I don't know.
Wait, huffing pain. Fucking Costco is like.
I know. But no, I hear people say that all the time.
Fuck, I'm not an animal.
And I do that thing. It's polite snarkiness where I then say it in a sentence back correctly.
Right.
Instead of saying you're wrong. I was like, well, the last time I went to Costco.
So you call it correct snarkiness.
Yes.
Snarkiness in the correct sense.
Yes.
Or as a positive, not a negative.
Trying not to be a know-it-all while exclusively being a know-it-all.
Right. Yeah, sometimes sometimes I find myself doing that too, where I'm like, "What?" Like, and I'm not like an English professor, but sometimes I hear somebody say something, and I'm like,
"Yeah,
holy fuck!" Like,
you have a few different levels of people. You have people who don't necessarily know the difference, which fine, teach them a lesson with your fists, but no, and then
with my cock,
yes,
my cock fist.
I'm gonna fuck you until your English is good. you mean if you have proper English?
It's gonna be a long bang. Here they come. The bad guys are sneaking in through the fog. Oh, here's fucking dirty old
Gothmog
tumor head.
Yeah. They literally
What's his name?
Gothmog.
That guy's awesome. There he is.
Literally, and that voice of Gothmog, Andy Serkis, because he plays 11 fucking people.
Of course he does.
But I'm pretty sure he's the voice. I know he's the voice of the Witch King.
I saw Goth right today downtown. It was
Nice.
awesome.
Oh yeah,
but they were like, it was like kind of grunge goth because they had a Nirvana shirt on and a shit ton of dark makeup, and I was like, fucking it. I felt good actually. I was like,
that takes me
the
back.
kids are still finding these things.
I haven't seen any of them in ages.
You know what I mean? Like they're still finding it. It's like, oh, this is where you belong. You found it.
Mm-hmm. Oh
fuck! Here we go. This fucking dirty old buggers coming in.
If you were on the set, you're not a principal player, but you have the opportunity to take anything. You can. Now, keep in mind the main props. You're not getting a ring. You're not getting like Aragorn and sword or something like that. Right. But if you could take something from the set, what would you take?
I'd probably take, if I could. It's it's funny that you say it because I was on a boat.
Yeah.
And they were like,
stole Aragorn's sword.
They were fucking like, they were like, this boat is going to scrap.
Yeah.
And they were just essentially said, take whatever the fuck you want to. Yeah. And I took the pictures off the walls. I took the weights out of the weight room. Nice. I took like literally everything that wasn't they were nailed down. Oh. That's a saying. I took every fucking thing going.
Nice.
Same thing I would take if I could. Well, I'd grab anything. I'd run away with a giant duffel bag if I could. But I think I got one thing I think I'd grab a helmet.
See, I am anything that is ornate. Like I only thought of the question because when the arrow went through the breastplate, I saw that beautiful tree of Gondor that was like carved into the thing, and I was like, I would want something like that.
Chest plate.
Yes,
I was going to say a sword, but I was like, no, I think I'd take a helmet or something.
But a sword is a sword is a sword to me. Like you could have got that online.
Right.
You get something, and I mean, you theoretically you can get anything that
anywhere,
could be a replica or something. But like you would know, and you would have this thing. My favorite thing that I've been hearing lately, because they were talking about with Game of Thrones coming to an end, which I believe it's over now. I don't know. Again, we're recording this so far in advance, but it should be over by now. But they've been asking people what they've been taking from set, which is a very common thing when shooting finishes and stuff like that.
Do you really want to answer that though? Because maybe they want it back. Like,
yeah,
well, you know what I mean, like, ooh.
Well, they're saying like basically like come get me at this point. But the guy who plays Davos, he ransacked the place.
Good.
He got a Dothraki sword, which are these big like crescent like scythe kind of looking things.
What the fuck are they gonna do with
And
them?
he got a little stag that is very plot specific, and you haven't seen the show yet, so I'm not gonna say.
Oh no, right.
Then he got another thing that was super plot specific, and then but he was just I got this.
Good for him.
But then they went to Ian Hampstead Wright, who plays Bran Stark, who's a very like he's one of the kids from the beginning.
He's
and
like, you think you got a lot of shit? Look
No,
at this.
no, way worse.
He's like, I got Peter Dinklage. He's like, look at what I took from the set.
No, his was much worse. He went and he was like, he's like, it kind of occurred to him that had been occurring, that people had been taking stuff, and he's like,
It
I hadn't
occurred
taken.
to him that it was occurring.
No,
I like that.
Yeah, well, but
It's like I just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in.
wow. but at the very least, the sentence made
Right?
sense.
Yeah.
And the lighting of the beacons.
Yes.
I love the theory of the
Although
lighting.
I'm
of the
guessing
beacons.
because look like there's a thing hanging there.
That guy
with the
works on the
flames.
set. What?
There
Yeah.
was like it looked like almost like once you light it up, you can make some soup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that thing, it was meant so that no embers could fall down and light the thing on fire. It was a water thing to keep
Oh,
it
that
from.
makes a lot of sense actually.
Right?
I thought
They-
there was like once you light it, have some cup of soup.
Well, you could still do that. That's nothing stopping you.
Continue.
But anyways, yeah. So the Ian Hampstead, right? He's like, it occurred to me that everybody had been taking stuff and whatever, and it was my last day on set. And I didn't know what. So he's
just like,
so he scrambled and he's like, I got a wicker basket and a wooden spoon. And he's like, they look like you could have just bought them at any store.
Right.
And he's
That's
just like, he's
awesome.
like, I got nothing. He's like,
Oh my god, people steal things? Fuck.
see, my favorite stories from this, like the things that people got from this, like most people got to keep their own sword.
Cool.
Fucking Vigo bought his horses.
That's right. He good dude, good man.
He bought himself 2 horses. The one
There was
he
apparently a big issue with the Hobbit and all the animals.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then he also bought a horse for one of the horse trainers. And then what else did he do?
And you know
what
he's
else
not
was
making
there?
that much.
No.
He's
And
not
then-
pulling down $75 million.
No.
Whatever money. He's a
But-
humble dude. He's like, take a horse.
But I mean, over 3 movies, he probably made like $6 million, $7 million.
Jesus,
So-
that's it. That's such a joke.
I know.
Like, what a fucking joke.
But
Anyways, okay, so what did they take?
So, but like, well, a lot of people, more often than not, they were given. They did. I think that Legolas and a few other people said they stole skulls out of the set from the dead place. Later on, when there's all the skulls everywhere, like everybody picked up a skull and walked away with it. The guy who plays King Theoden, he didn't steal something, but he had this little thing. He bought himself this. It was a cane that had like a little seat on it.
Right.
And he was just using because he's an older guy and stuff like that. And he's like, every now and again, he would just need a little rest. And he had this thing, but it was broken on a bit. So he went to like the prop guys. He's like, do you think you could just fix this little hinge up for me? They're like, yeah, absolutely. And when he got it back, they had sewn horses into it, like to make it look like it was Theoden's.
Oh.
And he was like, so they took something that I got like for $10 at a garage sale and they turned it into a piece of priceless art.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was just like, and like you hear that.
I'd grab it. Honestly, if I could grab anything, I'd grab it.
Yeah. Peter Jackson gave both Andy Serkis and Frodo a ring. They gave Frodo some of the maps. Or they gave, I'm saying Frodo, but Elijah Wood, they gave some of the maps.
Yeah.
They gave him Sting. They gave
Oh my God.
Yeah,
The
literally.
police?
No,
Holy
the wrestler.
fuck. Oh my God. Entering the room, your prize. Sting.
And he's just always standing outside, and it's like the Crow
Up
Sting.
in the
where he's, like,
rafters. Go up into your presence up in the rafters.
Remember? See, that version of Sting seems all well and good now until you realize that came out like 5 minutes after The Crow, and you're
So
like, oh,
what?
fuck you.
Oh, they all do that,
I know.
right?
I
come
know,
on.
but it's just
well,
like-
they don't all.
it
But
drives
yes,
me
that was
nuts.
a definite ripoff.
It was like when
so bad.
It was like when Sub-Zero started wrestling for the WCW.
No,
for a little-
Glacier.
No, I know.
Yeah. He's actually on
I'm
AEW now. They hired him. Yeah, that's a
Oh,
sweet
congratulations.
story, man. That would be neat too. The little the blanket put her together there. The what do you have, a brooch? I don't know what the
Yes.
fuck that is. The thing that keeps your blanket together as a
It's
a cape.
It's a cape. I guess it would just be a blanket without it, though. I just, the sword, like every little piece of him, like every single detail, so many people went into it. I can, like, I fathom it. I get how this works and I've seen all the things, but just to put it together in your brain that once it's all said and done, somebody put all that work into it.
I say like if anybody who's listening right now, if you haven't seen the making
extras.
of, like, just holy, that poor fucking woman that had to put all those rings together, those links,
the people,
the fucking chainmail.
I think they said 4 different women lost their fingerprints.
Yeah,
putting chainmail together.
They could kill.
Yeah,
that's like what he did in 7.
Yeah,
instead of chopping your fingertips off there, fucking dirtbag McGee, just like do that. Just make some props for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly right.
We have to. One of these years, we have to go with something to the We better go to Comic-Con together this year. I'm fucking serious.
I want to. You guys just
fucking yell at the Undertaker.
My only concern is whether or not you'll be here.
That's right.
Oh man, good. See, this is slow-mo used properly.
Yes, it is.
Because it's not John Woo blowing the candles off a cupcake, kind of.
Carl Urban.
He's got a show which I think is out now called The Boys.
He's very underrated.
No, but do you know about the show?
No.
It's I don't know
with
where.
Zed?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a Hulu show. I don't think it's with the Zed, but it's a group of vigilantes who actually fight corrupt superheroes.
Oh.
And I don't know if it's based on like a DC or a Marvel thing or something like that, but he's one of the guys.
So they fight villains.
No, they're fighting superheroes that are abusing their powers. They're like, I'm saving the day still, but then they're like, taking money.
They're
right. And I'm sure some of them are superheroes
so they're
gone
like
bad.
Policing the police.
Yeah.
Do they have that power?
I'm sure it's kind of like every other super villain or super hero where they have
take you down or whatever.
Well, but like a Lex Luthor type, they're like, I'm going to figure out how to beat the bad guy. So like they find their weaknesses. I'm sure you'll see them fight people and go, oh, like their weakness is kryptonite. Here's some kryptonite. Right. But I don't really have much to say about what it's all about, but it sounded pretty interesting. And Carl Urban's amazing.
Carl Urban is awesome. Carl Urban has done the proper thing. You don't want to be like the main. I know he was in Doom, or not Doom, but he was in Doom. But like he was the star of Judge Dredd and stuff.
He was excellent in Dredd,
and he was great. That was good. I liked it actually. Yeah. But he's never the focal point. He's a character, a character actor.
A proper character actor.
Right, and so he's never the main guy, but he's in there and he gets some scenes. That's the act. That's what I want. That's what I would want. Yeah.
Well, he had that show on Fox, too. Again, all these people, everybody from this movie had a sci-fi show on Fox. You got Sliders, you got
Fringe.
That was a
prerequisite.
But he had that one that came out where he was a cop and he got teamed up with like a humanoid looking like android, and I can't remember the name of it at all for the life of me.
I can't either.
But it was pretty good, and it was
cool.
It kind of had a very iRobot feel, where it's like he hates robots.
Forget it. I'm going as this guy.
There you go. Right. Gothmog. My favorite part about Gothmog, again, if you look into the making of, you'll hear about and see Peter Jackson just showing up for the model of this is what Gothmog's going to look like, and he just took like modeling clay and just started slapping clay on one side, and they're like, make him look like this. So it's like they like meticulously like carved out this thing. He's like, no, I want tumors everywhere. Slap,
you want him to look like a big old fucking He looks like Buddy's toe. And I'm gonna get you, Sucka.
Oh shit!
Bloated, like blowing, but in the blow up part.
Yeah. I always like this. They ask
the White Rider.
Well, there's a question as to why Pippin is with him there, like why he would have brought Pippin out in a more extended version of this extended thing. They're literally just arriving as this is happening, so they haven't actually got in yet. Like there was a cut where it was in a different order, so they hadn't arrived yet.
Woo!
And they keep asking. They're like, so why doesn't Gandalf just use this all the time? Just like shine that and just scare everything away.
Out of him.
And well, that's what they said. They make the joke that he's like, it's hard to find batteries in Gondor.
Yeah,
but it's just like, I was like, that'd take it out of you.
If we're gonna do a team up costume, what are we gonna go as? I mean, if you want to dress me up, somebody, I'll go as anything.
Nice.
You put it on me. I don't want to do the work. You slap it on me. If you want to be, hey, I want to be like, in the biz and be some special effects. Like, fucking put it on me, man.
Fuck, I have no idea. I was hoping to have something close. You were leading into that question, and I was hoping that I'd have something clever to say, and I have nothing.
Like a team up.
Yeah. I love this little scene too, because this is something that I hadn't really considered until I saw the scene where he turns. He looks like an old friend of ours, Louis. See,
Not now. Apparently it's a shit brick house.
He is. He's a gigantor. But I like that little look. He looks at the Hobbit and he's like, "This isn't the first Hobbit you've ever seen." And then it didn't even occur to me that most people probably have not seen them.
That's right.
And it's not for their lack of existence.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, yeah, he's just like, "Whoa, a Hobbit!" Like,
yeah, but he's seen Hobbits, so he's
just before because he ran into
so that instantly clicks with him. There's a lot.
He's sort of like, hey, I've seen like it's still kind of an odd, but he's like, wow, this is a coincidence, like 2 times in like a fucking Hobbit.
Yeah. And there's a lot of backstory in this too, because like these two were very friendly in his childhood, Faramir and Gandalf,
right? Because
Gandalf was here and he was he was his teacher and he was like all this kind of stuff, right? So it's interesting, and it's like it's that thing again, and it's one of those crazy things to say, but it's almost like you didn't get enough movie in these 4 hours.
I agree. Where you're just I agree. And I could fucking live here, man.
Yeah,
I could live here.
I would. Oh, man. And that's why I'm really hoping that the Amazon series is well received enough.
Is Jackson involved at all or anything?
At this point, I don't think so.
Any of the people involved with this?
I don't think so.
Like any of the artist dudes that drew things, or I'll bet you from this point, from 3 movies, these dudes from Hollywood, these girls, I say dudes in the general sense of like guys, girls,
folks.
whatever, right? Exactly, folks. Like, I'll bet you they could get it.
Yeah.
I'll bet if you're good enough, you could take the tone, you could get it. I just worry about like, they're going to be making up their own thing now.
Yeah. See,
is there notes to what happened in this second age?
Yeah, there's tons of supplementary crap that Tolkien had either created and then had been released by other people, and then there are things that they will derive between Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. Silmarillion. So I thought it was a Silmarillion, but then I reread the word and I'm like, no. So I think it's Silmarillion, but the
Stallion of the Silmarillion.
I like that his throne is not the throne. He sits down because he's not the king of Gondor, right?
Oh.
So it's like
wait, was he always sitting there?
Yes, that's where he was sitting when they came in the first time too.
Oh, that's neat. Wait, who's the king?
There is no king. The last king died, and they've been waiting. I
actually don't think I've ever like put that shot you just said right there. Yeah, clearly this black throne. Oh,
Shani Bean.
Oh my god, they just added in like Jar Jar there.
And this is another hilarious Game of Thrones thing that might as well just have been a shot right from Game of Thrones.
Well, this was before.
No, we say that every time.
Right, no, but yeah. Time is all relative.
Yes.
This could have been way after.
I'm sitting amongst a bunch of bookshelves right now, and I can reach in and grab anything from any time.
It's a magical bookshelf, exactly, from fucking...
Can I gay up for just 1 second and say, you smell good?
What?
You smell good.
I do?
Yeah.
Dude, my jacket, I just got a jacket from Buddy, and I thought it stank.
I don't know. Well,
he's like, oh, my mom washed it. It's probably my deodorant.
Yeah, Todd gives off a smell.
Haven't been... like working out like I have.
Yeah.
But like the shot to my cock meat.
Yeah.
It's I
we need to go into
we
need to go into grave detail about that pretty soon, because I think we've been so vague about it that it's the most.
But I'm feeling good, and I went to the gym and stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
I was at the gym last night.
I usually am sweating a lot. So like my girlfriend even says like, you don't smell when you sweat.
You never did. Even when you weighed like 5 million pounds.
But now I noticed like today I was like, ooh, I'm smelling it. Because I haven't had all that sweat coming out of me all the time. So I slapped some deodorant. You're smelling Old Spice. Old Spice. Wait, what? Is that what it's called? Spice. Dude. It's Fiji. Good stuff. They paid me for that.
Yeah, I know, but But yeah, that was always the thing, like when we were in school and you were a bigger guy then, and it was like you smelled like apple pie all the time.
That is crazy for you to say, because yes, I did. It was that deodorant in my armpits.
Yeah.
They mixed and it smelled like apple pie.
Yeah.
I was so terrified. That was my main paranoia, was smelling bad.
Yep.
At all times, I felt like I smelled awful.
No,
I was worried that I smelled awful, and I was worried like about going to the bathroom at school, because then I would smell like the bathroom, and like now I'm just like, hey, what was I thinking?
Because when you're in high school,
anxiety, I guess.
When you're in high school, teenagers just assume, and I mean, yes, there's anxiety and all these other things that tack onto it and exacerbate it, but like everybody is thinking that every single move
is being scrutinized,
creates your path, and it's like if I do this, it could take me off in a place where I don't want to be, and it's like
It's funny too, because after now, it's like did anybody really care? Nobody cared.
Not really.
Like maybe somebody would make a comment, but now do you think they're really thinking about it now, years later? Nobody give a fuck.
I do sometimes, but it's
well,
like
we do.
I flash.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm living a nightmare, so don't do what I do. I still
in a neighborhood of flashes.
I still remember
forwards, backwards, sideways.
I could if I could draw, I could actually draw scenes of things that happened in high school that that still like haunt me, even though they were nothing. And I know they were nothing.
We should do that. That should be a thing we do.
I just draw stick pictures.
We'll just draw. I got a bunch of crayons. Yeah. And it'll be like a therapy thing, you know? It'll be like, oh, this is what happened in school.
Show me on the doll where nobody touched you in high school.
And then you point and go, oh, no, you mean no one touched you there at all? Yeah.
The helmets, you mentioned the helmets before, and I find the helmets in this movie to be a huge encumbrance. Like, they're very ornate and they're very good, but like, I just feel like having to wear one would be such a pain in the ass.
Fuck, did they even get through battles with these things on?
Like, and like the average person had pretty simple ones because they were ones that were like mass produced. Like those Gondor ones, they were all kind of bullet shaped with the point and then a little bit over the nose guard. Okay, great. But then you have the ones like the one that Miranda Otto puts on in a little bit. Is like, oh my God, that's what you had to wear. And then to find out Elijah Wood chose the orc helmet that he wears later in this. And you're like, that's what you chose?
Like he chose it like as a character choice?
No,
or do you mean like...
No, like literally they laid for Elijah Wood and Sean Astin, they laid out a bunch of orc helmets and they said, pick which one you want to be
because
wearing.
they steal one.
Yes.
And they wear it.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're like, this is what I pick. And I'm like, what a mistake.
Like, what the fuck? There's not even any eye holes. Like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, exactly. That one's a Dora the Explorer bike helmet.
What the fuck?
My daughter was visiting set, you idiot. I love to see, this is the thing I like, and this is actually something that you got a little bit of, I found it a little bit in Endgame, a little bit in Infinity War, but when characters started coming together that weren't together, like, all previously.
That's
so
what I
when
love.
you see these people and you see them like develop these relationships, and then you see how the story continues to kind of mold, right? And I like that a lot.
They could have done more of that in Endgame, but Endgame was all about fucking Tony Stark and fucking Captain America.
Endgame was impossible to do that because, again, you would have had to make the movie 4.5 hours.
Why not?
Because
the
reverse snap happened with like 35 minutes left in the movie?
Yeah, like I say that comment, like this movie's 4 hours, big fucking deal. Kiss your fucking fuck you, you piece of shit.
That's a guy,
dirty fruits.
That's a guy they called Tall Paul. He's like a 7'2" dude or whatever. That's how you get the scale of the giant hands with him. And they all called him Tall Paul. He has a last name.
They should have called him like, that's too on the nose. I like one who like Shorty Paul or you know, like
Big Gay Paul.
Yeah, you know, fucking right, like something like that. This is it. Here it is. This is the grossest scene in the whole movie.
It's the grossest scene, and it's also it's an interesting one. I think it was Fran Walsh or Philippa Boyens. I don't really honestly remember, but they saw Billy Boyd do karaoke, and they're like, "Oh, boy's got pipes," and they were trying to create a scene in here that would give you kind of a sense of the tone and stuff like that led from the Gondor retaking of the river, which is about to happen here. And like this crushes me. This
right here
scene between son and father. Now, I mean, my father, for all his faults, loved me. So I don't relate.
Course.
No, but that's what I'm saying is this darkness that you get, and you get this in a few things. Do you get
this scene in the non-extended?
Yes.
It's not. It doesn't have as much weight though, because you don't have all the back.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, and I think without
you
the extended,
wish that it was me,
in
my brother's place, and he's like,
and you get actually, and again, Game of Thrones comparison, but you get a similar character in Game of Thrones who has similar distaste for his son.
Look at him. He's just like fuck. He's like wrecked.
Yeah.
All he's ever wanted was like his father's approval, but his father's a piece of dog shit.
Yeah.
And he's never gonna get it. That's awful.
And he's a guy too. And like, to speak of Denethor a little bit, he is a corrupted person, not a corrupt person, but a corrupted person. That Palantir that he has, is fucking with him.
Yep.
Just like Saruman. Saruman was corrupted by Sauron.
Yes.
And as was he. So I mean, once upon a time, he always had a regret of Faramir, because if you go into the whole thing, you find out that Denethor's wife died giving birth to Faramir. So there was always that, like, you took my love from me thing. You're my son, but you know, like like that sort of thing. And
this dirty fucker.
So then this just pushes that to like the next level, where I mean, like, to have seen how he would have been if Boromir were still alive, and if Boromir told him that this was a mistake and that sort of thing. Like, he's too far gone. He's like, no, we have to do it.
I don't think that the scene doesn't have as much weight, like
No.
you know, we said before, like as it does with the extended.
Yeah.
And the journey doesn't seem as long.
Well, and without the extended version of the second one too, you lose that even more, because
that's what I mean. Yeah,
because you don't see Denethor at all.
That's what I mean. Like, you don't see. That's right, because you see scenes of him. You get to like all the
or Boromir for that matter.
Brutal scene, eh?
In the second one, you wouldn't even have seen a flashback of Boromir.
That's right.
Which is,
I mean, the red-haired one is Boromir.
No, Faramir is the red-haired one.
Right.
Boromir is Sean Bean.
Okay.
And so without Boromir, you don't even have a sense of their brotherly relationship. You just have to take it on word that, we were close.
Right, exactly.
Which sucks when you have the ability.
It doesn't suck, but then when you see the other side, you're like, oh, fuck.
No, but I'm saying it's like a missed opportunity when you have the ability. I was like, the dude's here, shoot a fucking scene, you know? Like, it's,
right. Like, what does it hurt?
Yeah.
Right? He just woke up 10 seconds after he should have.
Yeah.
He just missed Gollum. That bread looked good too, eh? It's all crumbly. It looks like
they said it was
shortbread.
They said it was short. They said it is essentially shortbread,
like long bread or something like that, right?
Yeah, no,
Is that what I thought?
lembas bread.
Oh, lembas. Oh,
And,
fuck, of course.
But the interesting thing though is they said it's basically every bit as dense and hard to eat as they say it is. Because they say one small bite fills the stomach of a full-grown man and stuff, but it's very dry and it's very dense, and so they like eat a little bit and they're like, yeah, that'll do.
Holy shit! What was that?
I think that was just a little electrical thing. I don't think. I hate when we react to those things because it didn't happen in the recording, so it's just you and me. It's like when you look off in the distance and you see somebody having a freak out, not knowing that they walk through a spider's web. You think they're just dancing the Thriller, like. The eyes.
Who doesn't like nasty elf bread? Come on, there, schmeegs.
I still like that people legitimately thought that Elijah Wood's eyes have been digitized for the movie.
Yeah,
like they thought that they were
people thought that they were.
People asked, they were like, so did they make his eyes like just like 5% bigger, or did they like brighten the blues? And they're like, no, that's just his eyes. He's Elijah fucking Wood. Go watch Back to the Future 2, same eyes.
Where is he in that?
He's one of the little kids in the diner playing the video game.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like Gunman Clive or something.
I think that's the best example of like an emotional break during this movie. Is like Sam, of all people, Sam just like getting on and throwing down fists.
Well, he's sick of his shit. He knows he's lying.
No, I hear you, but that's what I'm saying is like to get Sam to that level,
right,
is nigh impossible. Is just like
I'm easy. I'm there like half the time.
And the hard thing is, because we're watching this as a third person, but you really have to be able to jump into each individual person as like they're on, like as like when you see Sam,
carry the load.
Yeah, but when you see Sam, you need to be in Sam's body while he's talking. But then you go to a reaction shot of him, you need to jump right over to him, go, what is he feeling?
That's right.
What's happening? That's how you get to the meat of this. And I think the only real way of doing it, I'm sorry, is to watch it 700,000 times.
I agree.
And guess what? I've done it, so it's fine.
Yes, you have.
I feel good about myself. This is
Do you think that if Sam took the ring, it would corrupt him? Like he said right here, he's like, I'll take it. I'm not going to hold on to it.
Yes.
I think it would corrupt him, but I think he would have the strength to give it back.
Long term. It's all about long term.
Of course, yes.
Like,
I think it will corrupt anybody long term.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
Because essentially, he does have the ring for a short period of time in this movie.
He does.
He takes. Well, I won't get there. But
that's right.
But like that's so.
I mean, look at this.
He did it. Oh, like, and that's the thing. And like, you think about Sean Astin, and you think about his movies. I think maybe Rudy aside, and they're pretty emotionless.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's like
I can't remember what else he's been in.
It's like Encino Man.
He was in Stranger Things season 2. He was awesome.
Yeah, he's in Toy Soldiers. It was a fine movie, but it was like you're not getting this out of him in that movie, right? And it's just like that's why I couldn't have even began to guess him for this movie.
I think right there,
yeah,
when Gollum walked past him.
Mm-hmm.
Gollum felt bad.
Yep. Smeagol felt bad.
Smeagol
Gollum
felt
didn't.
bad. Smeagol was like, "Oh fuck, look what you've done!" Like,
and that's the interesting thing, and that's not even an Andy Serkis scene. That's a CG guy scene.
Yeah, because he gave him this kind of look that was like, "Oh fuck," like.
I know, and so that decision was made on some level where somebody was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you." Like they have to have this reaction and stuff, and you just have to act it.
He's just like, I'm sorry. He's just like, sorry, dude, but I gotta fuck this guy over. You don't even understand what this ring means to me, man. Like, I'm sorry.
I know, it's a lot. I love this scene too. Why is that guy not going to fight? What the hell? Cowards.
Oh, there's that kid. There's that cute kid.
You know who those cute kids are, right?
Isn't that Peter Jackson's kids?
Those are Peter Jackson's children. Yeah,
looks like that kid is Elijah Wood's kid from the size of his fucking eyeballs.
Sorry, that your Elijah always throws me off. And I know it's on purpose, but it's just like, oh, good to go.
That's how you pronounce his name. It's called English. Come on, continue.
It's called English.
English-o.
I can put more syllables on it if you keep testing it.
Hey, yes. You want to fucking play this or what?
I know. I really want to try on armor.
We're gonna, dude. We're gonna have we're gonna have like sideshows. Be in the Discovery Channel. This fucking thing. I'm telling you, we're gonna have I want to have a whole fucking like warehouse where we'll have our Lord of the Ring armor. We'll have our Star Wars armor.
I'm not even
going to have our this or that. And we'll just fucking fight it out in armor.
I'm telling you now, I'm not even going to begin to try any of that until I've gotten to a weight that I'm happy with, because I actually weighed myself for the first time in a long time.
Don't say it.
And I'm not going to say it because I'm so unhappy with it. And I was like, literally as that happened, I just literally picked up my stuff and went to the gym.
I was going to say, like, the reason I say don't say it is because, this is the kind of thing when you say to people, like, I'm on a diet. Yeah. And then they see you've been so good for a month. You're like, fucking, I'm going to have a beer and a piece of pizza. And then you're on a fucking diet. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or maybe if you don't do it, you fail.
A horse fucked up.
And then they don't, I'm in the same boat. Yeah. I'm in the exact same boat. And now I started really kicking in again.
Yeah. See, and I for a little while I had like not to give too many excuses, but I was literally bedridden for like 6 months, so I gained like 65 pounds.
Did somebody make fun of you on Facebook about how you run?
Yeah.
That's like, I didn't read the comment. I just remember your comment said your wife was like, he has bad knees. And seeing that comment right there, I was like, somebody made a fucking comment about you having a good time with your daughter.
Yeah. Which
I don't know who had said it. Maybe it was
realistically,
your mom or
what kind of monster has fun with their daughter?
I know, right? But right when I never said anything to you, I totally forgot. They're right now. Yeah. And I was like, what's like?
I know.
I just the answer. I assumed. Yeah. Which you shouldn't do. I assumed what the question was or the comment from that, and I was like, what the fuck, like?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
The question was, why isn't he constantly sucking dicks? And I think he's got bad knees. But otherwise, he'd have 3 or 4 in at a time. But so this, I remember when I saw this in the theater, not to jump off of that to get into a nice emotional moment, but to hear him sing in this beautiful,
here he is.
falsetto, and it's just...
Oh, he's like,
I'm gonna turn it up in her thing,
yeah.
And while he's like just not giving a shit, and there's something about like the gallantry of the night. It's like, we're going to die, but like, let's go do it, right?
It's our job.
And it was like the whole way. This is
you don't get this anymore, man. You know, like that saying where they say like, I heard a sailor man say it.
Yeah,
and it was, the boats used to be made of wood and the men were made of iron. And now the boats are made of iron and the men are made of wood.
Yeah, wood. I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yes. But yeah, like that voice. Moment. So yeah, basically they wrote this song and then they basically let him kind of arrange it and deal with it on his own. I like the kind of like the blood trickle that is the cherry tomatoes like exploding in his mouth and stuff like that.
I know, I really like that scene.
Oh, it's an amazing scene. That's, to me, like, it's these scenes that
he got it though.
These scenes,
buddy, the guy eating, you say, he's not paying attention, he's hearing it. It's
yeah. The message delivered, but I'm not, I don't bow to you.
Right.
Like it's such dark times. I love this.
Just before battle, eh?
Yeah, I love this.
Are these battles bigger than the battles Like they say that was that Game of Thrones battle as big as they said?
Let me put it in a little bit of perspective for you, okay? So the Helms, how long if you cut together all the Helms Deep parts of the battle, how long would you say it was?
Half an hour.
Half an hour. Okay, fair.
I
would
Is
say
that right?
I would say that's conservatively probably pretty close.
Okay.
The episode that was this battle was an hour and 35 minutes long.
And the whole thing is the battle?
The whole episode from beginning to end is the battle.
Holy shit.
It begins with the first, it's literally people getting into position because it's happening. Like it's getting ready to happen. And the last 30 seconds is basically the last moment of the battle.
Holy fuck.
It took 2 months to shoot, all night shoots. I was like, it was...
So it's impressive.
It is very
people
impressive.
Said that it was dark and they couldn't see it or whatever.
It is dark, but it's very much, I think people need to think of it in the terms of the D-Day Saving Private Ryan scene.
Right.
It's supposed to be chaotic. They're literally in the dark and they don't have fucking floodlights and stuff like that. They're all going off of torches and shit like that. So you can see what you can see.
Yeah, but I mean, we could have as us.
Yeah.
There's scenes in the dark, but we can see them.
But you can still see, but it's chaotic and whatever.
It's nuts.
And the whole point is that, especially at the beginning, you'll see somebody go killed, and you're like, "Holy fuck, who was that? Was that this person?"
Right.
And it was like, and then it's the whole point is you're not supposed to know what's going on.
Right.
You're just supposed to see a pile of bodies, and it's really not that long. But I would say that episode, because I know some people who didn't like it.
I know lots of people actually. They were like, it's too dark, blah blah.
I don't care. The dark didn't bother me at all, but I think I picture if Helm's Deep was all scrunched together, an hour and a half, and sort of a horror movie.
Ugh.
It was it's intense. There's a lot of shit going on in that one, man.
Dear God, what a fucking look at this, man.
So this is where you
look at all this. This is all here. Most of the shit looks like it's here.
This is actually a beautiful, the landscape. Actually,
they probably added.
Probably. Peter Jackson used when you see them walking through these mountain crags and stuff like that. They use that in some of their other movies. You can actually see exact locations in some of his other movies and stuff like that. Where they're I can't remember which one it was. It was one of his old fucking horror movies. I don't remember.
Right.
But when they
Dead
were
Alive.
It may have been. I love this thing too, to get up there, you have to
some old fucking road where you see the buses going. You're like, dear God, we're taking the bus up here in this thing?
Yeah.
The bus is teetering on the.
It's like that.
Oh, this is a very, I find, melancholy.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Or was that Helm's Deep? No, that was Helm's Deep where all the little kids are wearing helmets and they're panning over and it's a 10-year-old with a sword and
Yeah. But
I agree with this though. I think Pippin and I think they should be allowed to go to war and die.
Well, and I don't think that the guy disagrees, but the guy is also his relative, her relative. He's protecting her. He's
but in a sense too, there must be a sense of if we all fail, somebody's got to live to run away for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but I think that
there's Edge.
Yeah, I know it does look a lot like him. But Adam Copeland, get your ass. He would make a good small role in the Amazon version.
I agree.
But
get him in.
He was on what was it, Vikings or whatever.
A lot of the dudes from Mastodon are in Game of Thrones.
A lot of
you've seen him. He's in a bunch of shots. He's got a tattoo on his face.
Yeah.
And he's got a big beard.
Oh, he's one of the wildlings then.
Right, and he's the guitarist from Mastodon. He's the fucking man.
That's
hilarious. I was like, there he is.
That's awesome.
I just saw a shot on a metal show.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it was here's Brent Hines in Game of Thrones.
I'm going to put my full pitch to you for what I want to do with Game of Thrones after our movies are done here, because I
do it after this half.
Yeah, I think you'll be on board.
Can we stop after the halfway for pee-pee break?
No, we got to pee on each other.
All right.
But during this movie. So this is a really cool scene, because again, this is you've been going down, and then this is to me, we've hit rock bottom and now we're about to start going back up again. If you know what I mean?
Yes.
Inciting incidents.
Yep. A lot of these shots I forget, that horse turning and going up the thing,
Well, because some shots are less iconic, but still very crucial to the story, right? And it's just I
can't wait to force my girlfriend to watch this.
Yeah, man. Everybody should force everybody to do everything all the time.
Oh, sorry.
Not limited to movies.
I meant, sorry, I call my Force is my penis.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings is her anus.
Oh, good time.
So,
Sir.
that's how I wake up
Yeah.
every night.
See, you can have a nice fancy tent.
It's
I
a
feel
cool-
like he'd
cool
be more
knife.
man of the people. I feel like he'd be down at the bottom.
He's the king, man.
That would be, to give you an idea of the tone of Game of Thrones, that would be what happened in this, because they're all up in this top area, so only that teeny tiny road can get to them. That protects them. Everybody else is on the ground, like totally vulnerable to everything. In Game of Thrones, they'd look down and that would all be on fire. Like, just like, we killed everybody, fuck you.
It's a pretty bleak show, eh?
Oh, dude, it's so
It's
bleak.
not done yet.
It's 2 more episodes.
Is it gonna end good? Can it? Can it? Can there be a happy ending for Game of Thrones?
There's a possibility of a happy ending. I don't think everybody will be happy. But
Right.
Like it's like the war is like for the greater good happy. But there will be people who are like, well, that wasn't worth it. Like in their characters in their brains.
Right.
That was
Arwen
a
is-
good like reveal too, because I thought that might have been Arwen. I had no idea who that was going to be.
He just said Arwen is dying.
Yeah, no, I know, but I thought that was going to be Arwen.
Oh,
Like it turned around because they kept him
Right.
cloaked and like over the side, right?
she doesn't die, does she?
Spoilers, we'll find
Yeah,
out.
no, we don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Fuck.
It's still there. But
If you went somewhere, you press it, it would be some other
no,
effect. Like,
no, I'm just saying I haven't changed my sound effects yet.
that's a new one.
Yeah, no, I'm just like it's new to us.
Ooh,
New
he's
to us.
he's been pretty. This guy's pretty salty, man.
Yeah. Now let's get into our open-mindedness for a minute. Is there a handsomer version of Viggo Mortensen than these movies? Like, have
No.
you? No,
No,
100%.
I haven't seen all of them, but there's no fucking way that any version of Vigo.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. The one where he's fighting the dudes in the sauna.
I
he's
knew you.
naked.
I 100% knew you were gonna say Eastern Promises because you
Eastern
could see his dick.
Promises, yeah. Not that because of the accent, but still, that's close.
Yeah.
But this one is better. He's got the hair. He's all smoldering, like he's
Yeah.
in love. I would have been. I was really worried with these movies
Yeah.
that he was gonna fuck around with what's her name,
Yeah.
even though he was in love with.
You're talking Miranda Otto.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, don't do it, man. And I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Because that would have been like, come on, you're supposed to be in love with the elf chick.
Well, but there's a lot of stuff going on because he also told her to leave. So to his knowledge, she was leaving. Then he was just told she's not leaving and she's dying. And then he's like, well, I told her to leave. Like, I don't know what else you want me to do. I told her to go.
Told her to go. She's a woman. They don't listen.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
know.
crazy?
Yeah, I hear that.
Holy
but
fuck.
I love you, honey. I know you can hear me.
I know you're not listening.
There's microphones
but
everywhere. There's 2 right in front of us.
That's true.
I love.
Ooh, is this him passing the sword
Yeah,
on?
so he just got. This is the.
It's like father-in-law.
Right? This is the sword that was broken.
Mm-hmm.
The shard from the shards of Narsil, and this is the flame of the West. That was
So he put it back together.
yes, and then reforged
For the
it into a
king.
new sword. How cool! Like, and he has.
He's like,
that.
my fucking daughter's dying for you, you son of a bitch.
Can
You
I-
better fucking win this
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, it's the only way because it's what's killing her isn't that she's staying on Earth.
She's
it's the
heartbroken.
dark. No, yes, it's heartburn. She had a questionable pizza, but it's that the darkness. That's the only thing that can really kill the elves is the darkness. It like strips them of their powers.
Well,
and their
I would say
energy
the
and-
depression would lead to darkness.
yes, but I mean,
Or darkness leads
yeah,
to depression,
but it's
which
not-
leads to.
But it's not about that. It literally sucks their life force out of them, as opposed to us who we just get sad. They're not getting sad. They're literally
actually killing them.
physically being killed. Again, you've got to go between these characters because it's like we know as audience what's going on.
Right.
We know he's not taking off. We know he knows he's not taking off, but she can't possibly understand that. Plus, she also doesn't want to be without him.
Right.
I remembered her. I don't know. Maybe it's just that shot.
What
I was
else is
like, I
she
remember
in?
her being more attractive. She was in.
What, her?
Yeah.
I think she's hot.
She usually is. Just that shot really wasn't.
Miranda
doing it
Otto.
for
I
me.
know that name.
Miranda. She was in one of the Bond movies.
That's right.
She was in. She's got other.
Was she the
roles.
one that died? No, that's Eva Green.
Yes.
Eva Green was this girl that died,
Yeah.
right?
No. She was in a. I'm gonna have to bring it up. Hold on. Give me 1 second here.
Otto.
Uh,
Otto.
She's actually got a movie coming out soon that stars Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Jim Rash from Community is directing it.
No, and it's Will Ferrell and Juliette Lewis-Dreyfus?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, yeah.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, Will Ferrell. I love you. Come on, come out with something.
Yeah, for sure.
Him and Julia. Wow, what are they going to be, a couple? Hopefully something wacky crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
I need something whacked out to come out, man. Tired of this Seth Rogen shit. He's got he's all in big trouble. You know what I thought was really weird was like, okay, whatever, do your own thing. But he's like getting in shit because now he's like the face of a Canadian casino.
Oh, really? I didn't know
he's like, he said he's like, my investors are very mad at me.
Really?
And I'm like, what? Like, what are you like your stock?
Yeah.
Like what? Like your investors? Like what the fuck? Who cares what you do? Like, what do you mean? Like, so he's like Nintendo is like, oh, they can't break into the Chinese market, so now like stock's down a little bit, and it's like what? Like
I know it's a thing when because he's more than just an actor now. He's also a producer. He owns a company. He's like there's a lot.
Guy do what he wants with his own money.
One would assume, but it's. Once you own a company and once you're like, I mean, people are putting money, and this is the whole, this is, I mean, not to get political about it, but it's the whole concern about Trump. Well, like we did that info came out recently about how he lost more money in 10 years than any American taxpayer.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything?
But here's what. That affects his credit. That affects his ability to get loans. Where's his money coming from? Foreign investors.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because I saw this the other day and I was like, who gives a fuck if he lost that much money? He's still the president. He's still this. Yeah. But then it's like, if you're in bankruptcy all the time, where are you getting your money? Russia.
And he's not, and he's hiding where he's getting his money.
And he wasn't putting out his tax returns or anything.
Exactly.
Ah, good. I did not know that. Good.
That's why. And it's like, where is your money coming from? It's
I don't fucking like Trump, but I just thought like, who gives a fuck?
No, I hear you.
Money, right?
But no, but you have to be open minded. There are some things where you're just like, okay, they're going too far. Like they're just. He said something like when they're like he misspelled country. I'm like, he fucking typoed. Relax.
Yeah, who gives
guys.
a fuck? Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, but you have to not be able to not jump down his throat for every single thing because then when you do jump down his throat, it's meaningless. Otherwise,
so for every little thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's. Yeah.
Anyway, so going back to Miranda Otto, she was in War of the Worlds.
That's it.
That was another big one. She was in I, Frankenstein.
I'm actually
thinking I have the wrong picture of her face in. It's not Bond that she was. Oh, she was in Flight to the Phoenix, which wasn't a terrible movie. It was alright. It was a remake.
You think that this movie would be like a real jumping off for people?
Oh,
like,
for
I
sure.
haven't seen her really. I guess.
And that happens a lot, but then it becomes that.
She could be Nebula.
Somebody, yeah,
totally. Like if they didn't have what's her name, maybe it's because she's just a white chick with like red hair. That I think maybe she could be Nebula.
Oh, we were talking about too. We asked the question if we thought she shaved her head or not. She did shave her head. I saw footage of when she went to Comic-Con one time and she had the red hair, and then she pulled it off and she was bald. She had shaved her head for it.
I saw this. It's funny because I saw the same thing when they did that makeup for her on that big.
This is where they were shooting the Peter Jackson horror too. By the way. Sorry, I didn't.
It's probably he only had a couple fucking movies that did any noise.
Yeah, but
which was like Meet the Deedles, Dead Alive,
Meet the Feebles. Yeah,
they're all garbage.
I
know.
I know. I think it was Meet the Feebles, but I'm not entirely sure.
Like, or I know there was like Black Sheep, which was by Wade. That movie looks like it's kind of cool though. That wasn't.
When you said Black Sheep, I was just thinking fucking Chris Farley. And I'm like, oh really? He did Black Sheep? That's weird.
That's about like sheep that go crazy and start eating people. Nice. It looks like a comedy horror.
Oh, dude, I found this awesome site. We'll talk about it later because I don't even want to give them. I don't want to give free advertising.
Oh, here, yeah, fucking A.
Just excuse me while I drink my Pepsi for a second. But it had some crazy, like they had Zombievers on there, which is a great
Zombievers.
But then they had Zombies. It's a zoo full of like undead animals.
Okay, I think I've heard of this.
They had Sharktopus versus Terracuda, which is the one that Conan's in. It's a Roger Corman film.
Okay.
They had,
but I was newer one.
I guess
it must be it's not. Sharktopus is
because like he was still in late. He was like 15 years old.
Oh, okay.
But well, maybe not that old, but it's old. And what else did they have on there? Remember I told you about the movie Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong? Well, Evil Bong was its own movie, apparently.
Yes.
I did not know that. Yeah. It starred Tommy Chong. So,
yes.
see, I saw all the Ginger Dead Man movies, but I'd never seen.
I wonder if that's full moon. Are they full moon?
No, I don't know. I say no, but I don't know.
Full moon is like, God, I love full moon.
Full moon makes me happy.
Make a movie. Okay, make another movie. Have them fight each other. 90% of the movie is footage from the other 2 movies, and then the last 10% is them fighting at the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this man is a fucking genius.
I know.
You see, you could have taken one of these skulls.
Well, it's inside is where they took the skulls. Because there's
Right.
like an avalanche of skulls in a little bit.
An avalanche of skulls.
Yeah. Look, again, going into the detail too, look at how detailed that goddamn helmet is. Just like anytime you see like a close-up on something, just pause for a minute and just like really look it over. Because
They went for it.
Don't look, like looking at things big picture in a movie like this is almost disrespectful.
I found it crazy. I agree.
Yeah, like
well, it's weird, but how?
Yeah.
How can you go?
Like-
You want it like to go over with a fine tooth comb? Is
Like,
what you should.
look inside that tent. There's like friggin' like things
For
of
one
horses
shot.
and that.
Guaranteed.
And it wasn't even a shot, really. Like, had it been all pure white in there, nobody would have noticed.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on, buddy. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck, dude. Let him go.
Yeah. See, again, I do like this though because it's. I'm going to give you all the reasons why you shouldn't go, but I just don't want to see you get killed.
Right. That's
It's
essentially
just-
it.
and that's it.
Yes.
Because he's like, because really, he could have said, "All right, you want to go, fine, but you're on your own." That's what he could have
don't
said.
wanna see
He's
you
like,
dead.
Yeah, because he easily could have just been, "Yep, you go," and you'll likely get left
essentially, he's like,
behind.
we're all
and
going
you'll
to
be
our
killed.
death.
Yeah.
You want to go to your death?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
You should go back to your
There
home and
she
just ride it out.
is.
See, again, we're talking about helmets. Like, do you want to get stuck with that goddamn helmet on?
Dear Lord, my
My
lady.
lady.
Oh, yeah. Love stinks.
Like
Like
how-
love stinks, man.
yeah, I
She
hear.
loves him. You love this guy. It's fucking never works out.
I know. I hear that. Wow, you trailed off. I was like, I'm abandoning this shit. So, to get the horse gallops good for the CG and stuff like that, they actually like balled up a horse. They put all the motion capture balls on and had it running around in the studio. So that's how they got it. Oh, see, I like these battles too because it's got the siege weapon. Like, it's thought of everything. It's got the siege weapons. You can see the guys
Look
in
at
the
this
siege.
fucker. Like, I mean, you really think that guy could fight? You'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, we really do need a big drum for the dramatics.
Yeah.
But if it goes and drop the drum,
Yeah.
pick somebody up,
No,
throw them.
Well, it's like
maybe,
you drop the drum, hold the clubs, and just
Yeah,
smash,
like-
smash, smash, smash.
Maybe we could give that to
Yeah.
a smaller guy and you can fight.
Yeah, maybe do that. Maybe grab a sword.
Oh, yeah, this is where he's getting
Yeah.
getting the fucking old team back
This
together.
is-
Getting the-
I don't dislike this part in any way, shape, or form, but I'll say that this is my least favorite part of the movie.
I agree. I think this is a part where, like, they threw it. It just seemed too easy.
Yeah.
This seems like a whole fucking half a movie in its own.
Like this is them wiping out the problem. Because like it's basically what happens is they come and they just take everything down and it's just that's the end
But
of
you'd
it.
think that if you're going to be in here,
Yeah.
when seeing stories of the supernatural and stuff, it is more of like a we're talking
Yeah.
thing than what we're supposed to have. Like I just said before, like we're supposed to have a big battle where they,
Yeah.
or maybe they're like, oh, I'm being, they're taking my mind apart. Blah. We get enough, I think.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit like maybe we wrote ourselves into a corner and now we're like,
I almost feel like this should have been a mission for him to get something.
right.
Like, and technically it is. He's getting another giant army and stuff like that. But it's like you get this thing and this helps you in your quest. And it's like
right.
but-
Well, because it definitely does.
Yeah, it does. But it's just like because it's exactly that. It's basically like, oh, we're in dire straits. Oh no, don't worry, it's us and everything's okay.
But I dig it.
I do,
At
I
the
do.
same time, actually, you say I don't know whether it is my least favorite. I think I was just agreeing with you. I don't know what my least favorite is.
Yeah. I just
I
like
kind of dig this though, where he's like, I'm your king.
yeah,
You're dead. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
There never was a king.
you're oath breakers. Yeah. Well, there were kings.
Well, right. No. But
yeah.
I'm the true. Like,
yeah. Well, no,
I will absolve you of your
Yeah.
bullshit if you
Yeah.
fucking get off your fucking high horse and
Yeah.
come fucking over here and rumble.
Yeah. So basically, the story of it is that when they went to battle, when the last king went to battle, these people were all supposed to come. They all stayed home.
Right.
Essentially, that's what happened. Then when they all died, they were essentially cursed, and they all died and ended up here, type thing. And then so
Why wouldn't you do it then?
right, exactly. Well, I don't
Fuck,
think
like-
I don't think they knew that would be a thing.
Well, over time though, you might
Yeah.
become, like you get set in your ways, and you don't even want to. Fuck,
Yeah.
this is what. Fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah.
This is where I am. Fuck it.
Actually, it almost makes me like, again, we've made so many Game of Thrones comparisons. Like things like this make me think a lot about things that happened in Game of Thrones. And I'm just like, was George Martin deriving things from this?
Probably.
Or is it, or are some of these things just archetypes of this type of fantasy where it's just like, you know, the honor of the knight and
they're archetypes for a reason.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just saying that is he getting it from that because that's a thing that happens in these movies, or is he getting it because that's what happens in Lord of the Rings, and Lord of the Rings was a big thing for him? That's all.
Right. No, you're right. I'll bet you there is. There always. See, I get the story. I've been fucking around for the longest time, and when going back over it, I was like, fuck, there's like, this is like this or like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know whether I should cut it out because the whole thing is not.
Yeah.
The whole thing's not Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, it's like, I know. We were talking about this before.
But I'm like, fuck, like, yeah, that's right. Yeah. It was like, fuck, like, should I keep that stuff or not? Like,
but you know what? I say keep it. If you like it, or here's what you do. You go back to it every now and again. And if you're still happy with it, you keep it.
I dig it.
And then you keep it.
It's just a skeleton army that comes with Buddy. But they march forward, and if they hit water, they go under the water like Jason.
Yeah. Can I tell you something? There's a skeleton army in Game of Thrones.
Oh, fucking
They keep going.
Okay,
They keep
great.
going.
Yeah, exactly.
Skeleton armies
everywhere.
Skeleton armies are allowed.
Woo!
The Walking Dead is literally a war against a skeleton army.
Oh.
If you think about it.
Yeah, the white dudes.
Yeah.
It's against Whitey.
The white, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I dig that.
Whitey. No, you'll like it.
Holy fuck! How can you
see?
Do
Actually,
this
that's
guy?
something that kind of came right from Game of Thrones.
Not from
because
Game of Thrones,
he's came from
got the sword.
Yeah.
So like there's he could.
Yes. So basically, the only person who command them is the true king. And
but it looks like he could have cut his ghost head off right there.
Yep. But that sword is kind of the only real proof.
Right.
I'm sure,
and
like
it's back together, so they're probably like, "Whoa!" Like,
yeah. And so they assume
there he is.
Oh man, what do you think these guys like have fun ever? Like, do you think?
I don't know. No.
Or do they just kind of like
the idea of it is like they're miserable and they're just probably eventually in hell you probably smirk at some point. You're probably like, okay, holy fuck, like I'm down with this, like holy jeez.
Though actually
we'll find out pretty soon. Don't worry.
Later on there's the orc overseer. The one that looks and goes like, and then like comes at the camera. So basically, what happens is when when somebody like smiles or something like that, that's like one of them sees him and goes, "No, we got to start punishing him worse because he's happy." And that's bullshit.
That's bullshit. Oh, they don't like it. Oh, now they
actually
might be.
This part of the scene too is his Morpheus underground. Hear me. He's like, "What say you?" I was like, I understand it's hard to do a scene like that, and it's not his fault. And
so he was just like, I don't care. What do you think?
Is
what
all
things
extended.
We're gonna come now?
This is all extended too because he did that and then they cut it off before. Now you have the weird skull thing. I liked if you listen to the cast commentary, not the miscast commentary, but the cast commentary of this, you hear Dominic Moynihan and
this is all miniatures right here.
Yeah, and CG. But yeah, Dominic Moynihan. But like scenes like the up close bits, they're literally pouring buckets of those things. But Dominic Moynihan was telling Billy Boyd he was visiting this set, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna pick up one of these skulls and have it for myself." He's like, "Yeah, but if you do something bad, eventually something bad will happen to you." He's like, "Oh, I hope it doesn't." Like how like.
Yeah, just grab one. Fuck. I need to do all these skulls.
See, this is where I think that I would have a good thing as an actor. Is I see something like this, and I know how it would affect me, like being buried a little bit under all the skulls and stuff like that. And I was like, I would put a good scene out, not because I'm a good actor, but because I would fucking like.
That's like when Hogan,
I'd be like legit scared.
And the thing, Hogan was like, Andre rips my shirt off, and you can see in the video, he's like, I'm trying to put Vaseline in my eye to drop a tear.
Vicks.
A Vicks, whatever it was, right? Like whatever to rub in his eyes, so he has tears. And he's like, but in the moment, he's like, I didn't even need it. He's like, once he ripped the shirt off me, it was like, holy fuck, like I just felt it, like.
And it's funny because I always just think about how, like he was talking about how momentous that was, and every time I've ever seen it, I just think about how corny it is. What do you mean we can't wrestle, brother? We're friends. I'm like, of course you could wrestle. It's it's supposed to be a sport.
He did so well in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good. Like one of these characters that gives away all the exposition.
Yeah.
They only had one scene to get this across. It wasn't like they do every day, all this stuff.
Yeah.
It was like he had to be like, we can't fight each other, brother. We're best friends.
I know.
And then Andre doesn't even do anything. He's like, what do you mean? We can't fight at WrestleMania 3 because this and this. And then he rips his shirt and then he's like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yes. No, but my biggest anger was you're purporting this to be a sport where any two people can wrestle each other. Why on earth? Like, that would be like somebody on the Patriots saying, we can't play against the Giants because I'm friends with the wide receiver.
Exactly.
You know, because we're all essentially, there's only very few people who don't like each other.
Yeah, it's like, maybe we can wrestle because we're wrestlers.
Yeah.
And that's our job.
Yeah. And
no. There has to be personal stakes.
Yeah, and I'm the number one contender.
Right.
Like, it's,
no. You stole my hat.
I think that's when wrestling got good for me, when you would have moments where like people who respected each other would fight each other, and then they'd have these hugs in the ring. Or
they have it still.
Like, I think probably the best example of that would have been SummerSlam, Davey Boy versus Bret Hart.
Oh, of course. Come on. They're like family.
Well, they literally are family.
Oh, he's all gimped up buddy there, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, well, because he's all like deformed, right? So he can only walk so well.
Like when he like sidesteps. Was that the last one?
Yeah.
Like
No, it's this
big
one.
Fucking
he's only in this movie.
Take one step over.
He's only in this movie.
Oh, that's right.
They have.
I keep thinking we're gonna see Buddy.
I like that guy in the background with the skull on top of his head too.
Damn.
Like the designs, and again, look at each individual.
That is a good one.
And then there's the one in the background who had kind of a wispy beard. So like he looks kind of like that one monster from He-Man.
Slice. Yeah, the little guy.
This is great. Like, this is something.
Heads.
Yeah. Like, again, this is something that you would almost like, you're like, this is like rated R shit.
Whoa. That's
Right?
good looking severed head, man.
I know.
They had to do a close up of that one. They're like, this one looks just like Buddy. And then they were like, oh, it is.
Did you see Jared Leto? Oh, that was so clearly not Billy Boyd. That was because they gave masks to all the scale doubles, and and you know what masks always look like? They always have like weirdly pink and like stuff like that. This is a great scene for him, but it's so like this is like the kind of guy I can't get into his mindset. Like, I understand what he's going through, but I don't understand like it's over. No, he's alive. I'm dead. Like, everything's cool. It's over. I said it's done. But I think at the same time he's trying to.
He's all fucked up.
He wants it to be over just as much. No. He's like, his brain's a little corrupted from having the Palantir.
Oh, he was the other guy that was possessed. Storm Crow.
Yeah. Yes. But, oh man.
Here they come.
I love this chaos too. But imagine like the amount of destruction. Like, think about how big that castle is and how big those boulders are and how big those catapults are.
Oh.
And it's just like.
There's a bunch of innocent people.
Yeah. Thank God. This is like.
Tired of their shit.
If it wasn't for the population of it all, it would be a lot worse than Man of Steel. But there's just not that many people. Like, there aren't. Oh, I love that scene. Look at that nose.
Shut up, buddy.
That Gandalf nose, man. That's just his nose, but like, good God.
So he wants to play Buddy.
Yeah.
This guy in the next one.
I think that's amazing if he ends up playing.
I think so too. Why not?
It's so good. I'm still kind of bummed that he didn't play Dumbledore. He was offered the role to play Dumbledore, I think, to replace Richard Harris when he died.
After he died.
And he said, he's like, no,
too close.
Well, that's precisely what he said. And he's like, I don't like I don't want to confuse people.
Fucking actors, like, man. They always think like it really means something. Like, just do the role.
But I mean,
fuck. I hear what he's saying, right? It's like kind of close. You don't really typecast.
But it's the difference between. It's the difference between like an artist and a utilitarian actor, you know. Right. Like a utilitarian is like, yeah, you got a check for me. I'll stand where you want. I'll do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, bring the check.
Absolutely.
Oh, here we go.
I'd even do a DC movie. Probably not. But like for somebody like that,
cartoon DC movie.
Yeah. But like for him, he's like, and especially once you've got a career, right? He's like, well, if there's no point, what's my point? Like, I'm not gonna bother. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time with this shit. I love this. Boom. Like, because there's so many people in there, and you can see, like, again, if you pay real attention, you can see the details. So here's the scene.
Here we go. There's the man.
This is so good. You make him so badass in this moment too. He's just like, and he spits on it. That's one thing. They never really make any of their trolls look at all the same. Like, you can never really tell. Like, are they all different types of troll? Like, is that a cave troll? Is that a mountain troll? Is that a this troll?
They might
but
be.
Like, and I mean, like, some would be different. You would expect that. Like, I expect the cave troll to look different
they all
from the
have
ones that,
like featured like scars and different things, and
Yeah,
these guys are fucking awesome.
they've all been through some shit. Yeah. And I like that they've kind of like armed him a little bit. I just noticed
Aren't
the saddle. It
those
looks a lot like Battle Cat's He-Man.
Shouldn't they be looking for the ring? Isn't that their job?
That is their
What the
job.
fuck are they doing fucking around here?
That's a great question, actually. Now that you ask
like what
it.
the fuck? Like
I think
just thought of that.
I think. Well, this is why they believe that Pippin has the ring.
But they usually seem like they can feel it or something.
If it's being used, they can feel it. But that was what happens in this movie while we talk over it. It's Pippin used the Palantir. Sauron saw Pippin. And that's why Pippin gets separated
when he
from
had
everybody.
That's right. But when I wonder if these bad dudes even look up and be like, holy fuck, there's a race. Like even the wraiths are here.
I
Like,
think they're
Jesus.
probably used to it by now. You know, you go through your training and they're like the one is
You might see a wraith.
the one is their king. So he's probably they probably see them from time. They might have seen so many in one spot, but it's like, really, would you have the time? You're in war.
Holy fuck, man. What does this have like a story about the aftermath of this?
Yeah.
About like what happened to the bad guys that lived and the good guys that lived and what happened like.
Well, the story goes further than even this movie allows. As like if you read in the book, we'll talk about it more in the next episode of kind of how everything kind of follows up and stuff like that. But but yeah, I mean, like it continued and orcs continued for a bit and everything gets good for a while after that. I think that's the idea.
The orcs had a good time.
Yeah.
Had a job in a restaurant for a while. I always thought that there should be a story about a good orc.
Yeah.
Like an orc that was like, I'm not into this shit.
Sean, the good orc.
Yeah, and he's not accepted anywhere, but he hates being an orc and he's got a bad rap because he's an orc and, maybe he could join a band of heroes or something and change that. Maybe I'll add him in my story.
And he wanted to, he tried to join the dwarves, but they're anti-LGBT and he happened to be bisexual. And
not only is he like a
oh, this is one of my favorite Gandalf moments. Just watching him just whip sword and spear and staff. Like
he's been hearing that a lot, actually, Gandalf.
Yeah.
Isn't it though?
Like,
isn't it a place for Hobbit?
Oh, look at that, eh? Just like the spins of the staff and stuff like that. That's why I think, given my druthers, if I were to be able to like pick my weapon, I would much rather have like some kind of stick or spear weapon where you could spin it around and do like
spin, hit them,
like much like the double lightsaber or something,
yeah.
right? Like it's just there's so much to do. I might have a little bias because I actually like studied the bow staff when I did karate and stuff like that.
Right.
So I understand the physics of it more than a nunchuck, but
I don't like nunchucks. Too close range.
Yeah. They're disarming weapons. That's what they're for.
Yeah. You useless cum.
I like that. I like that he's calling them useless, but he can barely move.
We haven't.
He's basically
seen a lot of.
He's Tom
Super
Sizemore
orcs.
from. No,
we haven't seen a lot of those guys after Helm's Deep. Like where, like he looks like one of them.
Yeah,
but where are the rest of them?
Well, again, they're all different armies, right? Like they were an army bred
Gronk.
for that.
Just
yeah. So
Gronk.
this is Gronk. Hey, bro, I'm gonna knock down your building, bro. Yes, this is Grond.
No,
it's after this scene.
Oh, okay.
So we are coming up on the end here.
Grond.
And oh man, so you get to see. I like that you get this a little bit just right at the end. You're gonna get this like here's where this battle's about to go kind of scene.
They all have moles and like growths and like. It's a fucking.
Oh, look at the fire coming out of it. Like how big is it? Let's see like where the trolls are. There's like 30 trolls pushing this thing. God knows how many. Like that is gigantic. Okay,
dear God.
We press pause.
That's it.
2 hours 7 minutes 36 seconds if you're watching a single thing. Otherwise, you are going to disc 2. But that is it for this episode. So join us next week. There's not a mini episode between the two. We continue right on to next week for part 2 of Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. In the meantime, join us at miscastcommentary.com. podcast@miscastcommentary.com is our email address. Call us, 289-769-3288. Leave a message, send a text, any of those things. You'll get heard or read on air. And what else? Twitter. Find us at Miscast Podcast. I'm at JK Finley. Todd's at Miscast Todd. Find me on Instagram at JK Finley. That's it for now, gang. Well, you can hear that fan, but not as much as I thought you would. So that's good.
Fucking get
Fuck it. But anyways, till next week, guys. Stay Middle Earthy. I didn't have anything.
Keep those toes hairy, baby.
We'll see you guys next time.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.